Hi, I'm Megan. Please like and subscribe. My American mom met my dad in London when she studied piano at university, and they got married and then had my older sister Susie. They moved back to the States so mom could work on her career and then had me. Then they started having problems, and my dad thought it would be best to move back to London. But for some reason, Dad only loved Susie and ignored me all the time. On my 5th birthday, Dad bought her a PlayStation and beautiful dresses while I only got a grumpy look from him.
But Dad, it's my birthday. Why didn't you get me anything? Don't you love me?
Oh, stop being such a crybaby. I told you, Mum. I only wanted one child. Susie was enough for me. But no, you had to come along.
Seriously, he was such a jerk. And Susie always made sure to remind me she was his favorite. But thankfully, I had Mom and she loved me to bits. Then one night when I was 8, Susie and I heard Mom and Dad fighting like crazy.
I know that child ain't mine. I know you cheated on me, you awful woman.
OMG! Is that why Dad hated me all this time? Because I wasn't his daughter? Dad stormed out of the house with his bags and didn't even stop for Susie as she called out to him. I hugged Mom and cried, but she convinced me that he was crazy and we were better off without him. But there was someone who was super pissed. Susie!
Dad left because of you! You're the reason for everything bad, Megan! And I'm gonna kick you out of our lives for good and bring him back!
I thought she was just going to be mad for a while, but the next day, I screamed when I went into the bathroom. Stuck on the mirror was my head, cut out from a photo showing my face with my eyes poked out and a tomato nose. Of course, it was Susie. I found more of those pictures all around the house, and I showed them to Mom, and she grounded her. Over time, I grew even closer to Mom, and she discovered that I was great at playing the piano, just like her. She started teaching me, and by 7th grade, I was good enough to be selected as the key player of the school's music team. But Susie just couldn't live with that. On the day of the program, when I went on stage, I saw that my music notes had been burned. There was only a heap of ash on the piano with a note, "Hope you fail and keep failing for the rest of your life. You don't deserve happiness." Susie was a psycho, and I was gonna kill her. I nervously started playing the music from memory, and everyone in the audience loved my performance. Except for Susie, of course. She looked fuming mad. As soon as I got home, I confronted her. "What's wrong with you? Don't you think it's time to find something to do with your life, besides being a pain in my butt?"
My life! You ruined my life, my happiness, my family! I'm not gonna let you breathe in peace, Megan. Just you watch and wait.
OMG! She was unbelievable. But then what happened next shocked me even more. My left hand suddenly grabbed her hair and smashed her face into the cake Mom got to congratulate me. She screamed as loud as she could, and Mom came running.
What did you do now, Susie?
But it wasn't Susie this time. It was me. And I had no idea what had just happened. I ran out of there all confused. A few days later, I was taking my math test in class, but I couldn't figure out any of the answers. I started to panic when suddenly my left hand grabbed the test paper of the girl sitting next to me. She screamed in shock. And up next,
Detention.
what the freaking heck? What was wrong with my hand? Susie couldn't wait to break the news to Mom. As soon as we reached home, she started screaming.
Look, Mom! Your favorite has made you so proud. She got detention for cheating.
Mom looked at me in shock, but I just ran up to my room. Later that evening, I told her what had been happening with my hand. And the next day, she took me to the doctor. And it turned out I had a strange condition called alien hand syndrome, where my left hand acts like it has a brain of its own.
It's more likely to get out of control when you're experiencing extreme emotions like stress.
What then? What about my career as a pianist? I freaked out, and my left hand smashed the doctor's instruments into the wall. I decided to keep it a secret from Susie because I didn't want her to tell the world that I was a freak. I thought my life was just ruined. But at least I had my best friend Max. He never visited me at home anymore because once Susie had put so many chilies in his food, he ended up in the hospital. I didn't tell him about my hand, but he could tell I was bummed out. So he took me out for ice cream that evening. As we were walking back home, he suddenly turned to me.
You have ice cream on your nose. Do you mind if I...
Saying that, he moved closer, and my heart started beating a bit faster. Oh, what was he doing? He leaned in to kiss me, and I ended up slapping him really hard. Not my freaking alien hand again? Oh, Max, I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean to. It's just,
No, it's my fault. I should have asked you first. I'm sorry.
Saying that he ran off, I felt so terrible. A couple of days later, I was looking for him everywhere to apologize, and I found him making out with some girl in the music hall who was none other than freaking Susie. Oh my God, Max, why are you kissing my sister?
What are you, the kissing police? I can kiss whoever I want. You missed your chance when you slapped me.
Oh, you obviously deserved more than that.
Whoa! Easy there, Hulk! He's my boyfriend and we've been dating for a whole day now!
Susie, you know he's my best friend. Why are you such a jerk?
Jerk? You're the jerk here! Always wanting to take away my happiness. I'm not gonna let you do it, Megan, so keep your paws off him!
Saying that, she grabbed his hand and stormed out of the music hall. She just wanted to take away everything from me, even my best friend. Days passed, and I focused more on my music. In the 10th grade, I had a chance to audition for a spot at the best music academy in the country. I was super excited for it. I reached the venue an hour early, but as I was waiting for Mom backstage, Susie called me on my cell phone, and she was crying hysterically.
Megan, you have to hurry! Mom met with an accident on her way to you, and she's in the hospital now!
Did that witch really think I'd believe her? But I called Mom 10 times, and she just wouldn't answer. That's when I started to panic, so I quickly hailed a cab and rushed to the hospital. Halfway through, I suddenly got a call from Mom.
Honey, my phone was on silent, and I didn't even know. I just saw all your calls. I'm at the venue. Where are you?
OMG! I couldn't believe Susie had played me. I got stuck in traffic on the way back, and I arrived 10 minutes late for my performance. As the judges glared at me, I sat down shakily and tried to calm down, but I was so flustered. The performance started out fine, but only after a few minutes, my left hand went bonkers and it turned into a complete nightmare. As people started to laugh, I ran off the stage in tears. I was so embarrassed and furious at Susie. She was so cruel. When Mom and I got home, I walked straight to Susie and slapped her hard in the face. I can't believe you'd stoop so low to hurt me. You ruined my performance. Do you have any idea how important it was for me?
Yeah, I do! And I don't care. Just like you, people don't care about me. Mom has always loved you and supported you. But me? After Dad left, she just abandoned me.
Oh, honey, what are you talking about? I love you as much as I love Megan. But you always pushed me away and I felt you hated me.
Oh yes, I do hate you. I hate you for making me feel left out. You two even have your own little secrets, don't you? Yes, I know all about Megan's condition, and I was just waiting to use it against her at the right time, and it all worked out wonderfully.
I was about to attack her again, but Mom stopped me, and Susie stormed off. I was never going to speak to that witch again, ever. But I could still annoy the heck out of her. I hooked up my piano to some large speakers and played like crazy day and night right outside her room. I started making videos of myself while playing and uploading them on my YouTube channel. Once, I even composed a song especially dedicated to her.
No, any Susie, just be aware, even if she's your sister. Please take care. My sister can't see me happy.
The next day, I had hundreds of comments on that video. People loved my little composition, and they even sent me sympathetic messages about their own mean sisters. And a few days later, I got an email from a famous music producer saying he saw some real talent in me and that he'd like me to work with him on a new album. What? Could it be that I was dreaming? This was insane! Soon after, my first album came out and it became a huge hit, and I was on freaking Cloud 9. After that, I was playing at concerts and even went on a music tour with Taylor Swift. Then one day, the bell rang and Susie opened the door. I went running when I heard her screams. Standing in the doorway was Dad!
OMG, Dad! I knew you'd come back for me. I missed you so much. What took you so long?
But suddenly, he just pushed Susie aside and came running to me.
Oh, my daughter! My lovely, talented, famous daughter! I knew you'd make me proud one day.
What are you saying, Dad? I'm your daughter, Susie, the one you love the most.
You're not my daughter. You're the reason I left this house in the first place. 'Cause you aren't my own blood.
What? This was crazy! All this while I thought I wasn't his kid, but turns out Susie wasn't. She burst into tears when she heard this, but Dad wouldn't stop.
I don't know whose worthless child you are. Megan is my only daughter.
Just stop it, Dad. You're not Susie's dad, and you're not mine either. You never loved me, and then you just abandoned us all. You're not fit to be anyone's dad, and don't you dare talk to my sister that way. Just then, Mom stepped in, looking furious.
You crazy, horrible man! I never cheated on you! And they're both your daughters! But you wouldn't believe me! Well, you don't deserve either of them, you selfish creature!
Dad looked at Susie and said that he loved her and that she needed him.
You only came to get Megan's money? You never loved me, and I blame Megan for it. I thought she was the reason why you left me. But I realize now, you're just a terrible gold digger, Dad. And I don't want to see your face again. So leave, now!
And then Susie kicked him out of the house.
I'm so sorry, Megan. I was so mean to you all this time. I was such a moron for treating you like an enemy. And I don't deserve to be your sister. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I'm very sorry.
Everything you did to me affected me badly. I don't know if I'm ready to forgive you, but I believe in second chances. I really hope you change, but for now, we can start with a hug. Susie hugged me, and Mom joined us.
I love you, my precious daughters. Everything will be fine as long as we're together.
Hi, I'm Zelda from Washington, D.C. Before we start the story, to like and subscribe. My brother Ryan has always been there for me. When I was clumsy and dropped my ice cream, he got me a new one. When I fell, he picked me up. And when I watched a scary movie, he covered my eyes. And when he had to go somewhere and leave me alone. I want Ryan! On my birthdays, he always gave me the best presents. One time, he even paid the zoo to let me meet the giraffes and elephants. Mom told me he worked all summer to afford it, since he was so cool, brave, and awesome. You'd think he'd want to be an astronaut when he grew up, or a lion tamer, or a dinosaur catcher. It's a thing, look it up, but no, because her mom had to support us both by herself. Ever since he was little, his dream was to buy her a house one day and be rich enough that she wouldn't have to work anymore. That, and take me on a grand adventure, which was my dream. Yeah, my brother's better than yours. Deal with it. Ryan got a super cool Mustang. He would always pick me up after school. And of course, all the girls swooned, and every single one of the boys was jealous of him. I was the most popular girl in school without even trying.
What kind of music does he like?
How can he afford such a cool car? Is he rich?
Does he have a girlfriend?
Take it easy, girls. I'll tell you everything you want to know. My brother works for NASA. He's an engineer. He's saving up to buy my mom a house. No girlfriend. If he had one, I would be the first to know. And as for music, he and I listen to the same kind synth. The girls are always asking questions about you. They're all in love.
What do you tell them?
Just the usual. It's not like you're a mystery or anything.
They don't need to know my business next. Time anyone asks, tell them you don't know.
What? Why?
Look, NASA is secretive. I can't tell everyone about what I do there. The government doesn't want anyone to know. I wish I could tell you more, but I can't. Actually, we really can't talk about it at all. I've already told you too much. Just be cool about it, okay?
What? No, I want to know everything. Tell me immediately.
Maybe someday I'll be able to explain. But for now, keep everything I said between us.
Ryan, that's not fair.
Life's not fair. Here we are. Go on. I have to go back to work. I'll see you on your birthday.
My birthday's next week. I have school tomorrow. You have to pick me up.
Oh, right.
Ryan, I'm worried. You're acting weird.
Don't worry. Little Z.I. can handle myself.
He dropped me off and drove away like he always did. Except this time, something felt different.
Government jobs are very hush-hush. I'm sure he's perfectly safe. Please respect his wishes and just leave him alone. Okay, honey?
He forgot my birthday. He never forgets my birthday.
He's been a little distracted lately. Just a little dressed, but he's okay. I promise.
But I knew Ryan more than anyone, and he seemed worried. The next day, I waited outside our house for him to pick me up like he always did, but this time, he didn't show up.
OMG, What happened? Didn't your brother pick you up?
No, and he didn't call either. Something's wrong. I texted him all day, but there was no response. After school, with all the girls waiting to see him like they always did, I stood at the curb looking right left, waiting, calling. And yeah, you guessed it, he didn't show up. My brother, who had been there for me since the day I was born, was now missing. Mom, I can't find Ryan anywhere. He won't answer his phone, and he didn't pick me up today.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you he texted last night and said his phone's dying. He'll be getting a new one soon, but he won't be able to reach us for a few days.
Why didn't he tell me he was acting strange yesterday in the car? Something is going on with him. What if they heard us?
Who?
The government. What if they listened to our conversation? And now...
Honey, you're just so used to him being around, and now you're extra worried. This is probably the longest he's been away from you since he graduated college, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's strange that he didn't text me when he texted you. And why didn't he pick me up?
Maybe he had car trouble and couldn't call you? Don't worry, your brother can take care of himself. He always has.
Why wasn't Mom more worried? Everything felt wrong? Was I just being paranoid? She left in a hurry to go to work, and I was alone with my thoughts. Everything Mom said was true. But then again, he really was acting weird yesterday. And just because Mom got a text from his phone doesn't mean it was really him. I had to be sure. I rushed to the bus stop and went to the only place I knew I could get some answers. NASA. I would say he was an engineer, just like he told us. So they wouldn't suspect I knew anything more, which I guess I didn't really. I couldn't believe the giant space shuttle and huge NASA logo out front. This place was intense. At the front desk, I asked if I could speak to my brother.
What's his name, darling?
I told her and waited while she was on the phone, while she talked to the person on the other line. She looked at me as if there was something she didn't want me to know.
Sorry, sweetie, no one here has that name.
That's when I saw two men in black suits and sunglasses at the end of the hall looking at me. Or were they looking at me? Maybe they were just waiting for someone. I didn't want to find out, so I hurried out of there. I had no idea what was going on. It didn't make sense unless they really didn't want anyone to know where he worked because he was part of some top-secret mission. Without any other choice, I decided there was only one more place I could go to try to find him and find some answers. His apartment. I had only been there one time when I was about to move in a year ago, but I had written down the address. The building was super tall and fancy. I ran to the door and pressed the number to his unit when an old woman answered. I asked if my brother lived there, thinking maybe she was the maid.
No, he doesn't live here. Sorry.
My head was spinning. What the heck was going on? I saw my brother almost every day since we were little. I knew him, didn't I? A black SUV parked right behind me on the curb. I couldn't see through the tinted windows. I ran. Just then, I got a text from Ryan. All it said was an address that I didn't recognize. I tried to call, but there was no answer. What if it wasn't really him? I could be walking right into a trap. I got on the bus and headed that way. I couldn't go to the police yet. I had nothing to report. But what if I was going into a trap? But he was my brother, my protector. I had to try whatever it was I was heading into. I had to be brave. The sun went down. The street of the address was dark. My mom would never let me come here alone. Then I found it. A broken down old motel. I climbed the steps and knocked on the door, my hands shaking. It opened, and I saw a beautiful young woman standing in front of me.
Zelda?
Who are you?
I'm May, your brother's girlfriend. Come in.
I walked into the small room and saw Ryan sitting there, his head down like he was crying. I ran and hugged him. I'm so glad you're okay. I've been looking everywhere for you. What's going on? I went to your work, to your house.
I lied, Z. I don't work for NASA, and I don't live in that nice apartment building. I've been living here. When I showed it to you, I was a real estate agent, but I was terrible, and I got fired. Now I work at a rental car place. The Mustang is theirs. My boss caught me using it last night and fired me.
But why did you lie? I thought we were best friends.
We are. I was ashamed. You always thought I was so cool you looked up to me. I said I would buy Mom a house, and I can't even afford to pay my own rent. She has to help me. I wanted to still be that big brother for you, the one you looked up to.
You are my big brother. Of course I still look up to you. You're my whole world. I don't care what you do for work.
See, Ryan. Zelda, I told him you'd say that he didn't want us to meet because he didn't want me to lie to you. But I'm glad you're here now, and I'm so sorry. But Zelda, we need your help.
No, we can't ask her to do that. She could get caught. She could go to jail.
That's when they told me what Ryan had done. I was in total shock. My brother was so angry at his boss when he was fired that before he left, he snuck into the office and stole money from the safe. You did what?
I know it was stupid. It was a mistake. The security guard is there now. He knows me.
When they open tomorrow, they'll see the money's gone and your brother will be on the video. We only have until 7 a.m.
Before I go to jail and my life is ruined.
My heart was pounding my hands, sweating. I couldn't believe this was happening. I know he said he was angry, but this? I don't understand. That's not you. Why did you do it?
I wanted to pay back Mom for all the money she let me borrow. I'll go. I'll put it back.
No. Zelda, if the security guard ever sees him, he'll be caught. If he sees you, he won't know who you are. You can run.
But this is my mistake. I'll face the consequences myself.
I wouldn't help you steal money, but we're not stealing it, we're putting it back. So I'll help you because you've always helped me. Yes, I knew it was dangerous. I knew I could get into serious trouble. But all he wanted to do now was make things right. He drew a map of the office and explained to me exactly how to get in and out. The problem, of course, was the guard, and the fact that he had been caught on tape, which meant I would have to delete it. I had no idea how, but he wrote it all down, along with a combination to the safe on a piece of paper. Why not just send it to my phone?
You can't take your phone. If they suspect you, they could. Use it to see that you were here. I'll call Mom and tell her you're sleeping here.
So, my mom knew he'd been lying. That's why she wasn't worried.
Here, the money is in this purse. Just pretend it's yours and take my hoodie to cover your head.
I left the apartment, following the directions he gave, until finally I was outside, inside the office. The guard was outside the gate. There was no way around him. My first thought was to cause a distraction, but there was nothing anywhere. So I just walked right up to him. Sir, please, can you help me?
What are you doing out here at night, miss?
I forgot my phone in the car I rented. Everything I have is in there.
Can it wait till tomorrow? I'm not supposed to let anyone.
I can't. He took pity on me and let me in. He asked which car, and I pointed to a random one, getting ready to cry again when he didn't find it. And that's exactly what happened. Can I use the bathroom? In the stall. I checked the paper Ryan gave me. I had to climb into the vent to get to the office. I knew the guard would get suspicious, but there was nothing else I could do. I just had to hope he was too uncomfortable to go into the women's room. Before I put the money back, I wanted to make sure the video of my brother was deleted. So I went to the computer. There was a password, but Ryan had written it down on the where was it? It was gone. The door flew open, and the security guard aimed his flashlight at me.
Come with me, young miss.
I failed. There was nothing I could do now. He let me out, and at the gate, I saw the black SUV, and from inside, a man in a dark suit and sunglasses was waiting for me. What was happening? When I got close, the man smiled and took his sunglasses off. It was Ryan.
Happy birthday, little Za. How'd you like your adventure?
But my birthday...
Is next week? I know. Then it wouldn't be a surprise, would it?
I'm pretty sure this would still be a surprise. Ryan told me. He did work at NASA, and he owned the car rental place because 6 months ago he invented something for the government, and now he was a billionaire. What about May?
She's my friend from work. If I was dating someone, you'd be the first to know. Why do you think she likes me?
But your apartment...
I moved out 2 months ago because I bought a house.
Wow, you got your own house?
No, that one's yours and Mom's mine is that one.
Mom came out from inside, smiling and waving.
Thanks for trying to save me, little sis, my protector.
I was happy. He really was the best brother ever, except for one thing. You made me walk to school in the rain.
Hey friends, I'm Greta from New York. Please like and subscribe. I was born in a small town to a single mom who always celebrated my interests and made sure I felt valued since I was a little girl. I've always loved singing and performing, and Mom always supported me. When I was 8, I participated in my school's talent show with a singing act. I was so excited. But when I got on stage, the nerves hit me and I started shaking like a tree in the wind. And when I looked out into the audience and saw my mom smiling up at me, I knew I could face my fears and give a great performance.
Don't worry, honey. You've got this.
Okay? Yeah.
You're my honey
I used to get some stage fright when I was younger. I loved singing more than anything in the world, but sometimes my nerves got the best of me. All of that went away after my friends told me how good I was.
You're like so talented.
Really?
Totally. I wish I could sing like you.
With my mom and friends supporting me, I felt unstoppable. So when all that was taken away, it was, well, difficult. When I was 13, I got the opportunity to audition for a prestige just performing arts high school called Cole House. I came in prepared with my very favorite song.
You are my honey bun, sugar plum, pumpy.
Incredible. Superbly performed.
It had been my dream ever since I was 8 to attend. So I was thrilled when they offered me a spot the following fall semester. Cole House was all the way in New York City. I'd only ever been there once to see the Phantom of the Opera on Broadway, so the idea of going there to live was intimidating. It was a boarding school, so I would be away from home for the first time in my life. My home friends wouldn't be joining me. They were all staying back to start regular high school in her hometown, but they were so excited for me.
Go get them, Greta.
We can't wait for you to take NYC by storm.
It would also be the first time my mom and I lived apart. Though I hated the idea of being away from her, I knew I needed to follow my dreams. And of course, my mom was super supportive.
I'm so proud of you, honey.
She dropped me off at the train station and waved goodbye.
See you in a few months, my Broadway star.
As soon as I stepped foot in Manhattan, all sorts of doubts started creeping in. What if I don't make any friends? I'm not a good enough singer for performing arts high school. Maybe I should just go back home. My fears just got bigger and louder when I stepped foot in my new school. It was gorgeous, with high vaulted ceilings and brightly painted classrooms. Just as I was looking up at the beautiful stained glass windows, I was suddenly shot to the ground by a pretty girl.
Oh, sorry I didn't see you there.
How rude! Could she tell I was out of place here? I didn't have too much time to think about it because my first class started in 2 minutes. I ran down the hallway just in time for the bell to ring and sat down in the last open chair right across from the girl who shoved me. Just my luck.
I see you've met Lena. She's a pill.
A boy sitting right next to me with curly hair and a cute smile put out his hand.
Hi, I'm Daryl.
I'm Greta. Nice to meet you.
You must be new here.
Was it so obvious? It was like I had a sign on my forehead screaming, "New girl." Daryl must have noticed my concern.
I just haven't seen you around here. Oh, I would have noticed a pretty girl like you.
Yeah, I just moved here from Scaniotolis.
Never heard of it.
It's a tiny town. I really love it there, but I couldn't miss the opportunity to go to school here.
Cole House is pretty incredible, and this is my favorite class. Mrs. Larimer is the bomb.
Just then, a tall woman with a long braid and huge brown glasses entered the room.
Hello, class. I see some familiar faces. I see some shiny new faces. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Mrs. Larimer, and this is Singing for the Stage.
I looked around the classroom and saw a lot of smiling, eager faces. It seems like a lot of people really liked Mrs. Larimer.
I hear we have a new student in school this year. Class, let's give a big Cole House welcome to Greta.
Hi, Greta.
Nice to meet you.
Just then, Lena chimed in.
Can't wait to hear you sing.
I felt like she was taunting me, like she felt she was better than me. What was this girl's problem? Before I could think about it too much, Mrs. Larimer was addressing the class.
Who's ready to present their audition cut?
All of a sudden, every student reached into their backpack and pulled out binders full of sheet music. I looked down into my backpack. There was nothing but a pencil box, a notebook, and a bagged lunch in there.
Did you not bring your music book?
I couldn't believe Lena was calling me out in front of all these people. I just wanted to blend into the brightly colored wallpaper.
Don't worry, it's your first day. No one expects you to be ready to perform.
Greta, it's your first day, so we'll give you some time to settle and you can perform for us next week.
Thanks, Mrs. Larimer. I shot a look at Lena so she would get the picture to just leave me alone. She caught my eye and smiled. What? Why would she tease me and then smile? What kind of mind games was she playing? Still holding my gaze, Lena's hand shot up in the air.
I'm ready, Mrs. Larimer.
Great, Lena, you have the floor.
Lena gave the pianist her sheet music and started singing. I wanted to hate it, but she had an unmistakably gorgeous voice. When she finished singing, the class applauded.
Great job, Lena. I can tell you've been keeping up with your vocal exercises this summer.
Mrs. Larimer gave Lena some constructive criticism, but I was distracted. I felt like screaming. Yeah, she has a beautiful voice, but that doesn't give her an excuse to be rude. But I just kept it bottled up inside, sitting politely.
Who would like to go next?
I wondered how anyone could feel confident following such a great performance. I would certainly be intimidated singing after Lena. I was wary of her, but there was no denying that she was a beautiful singer. Before I had too long to think about it, Daryl was standing up from his chair.
I'll go, Mrs. Larimer.
Daryl handed his sheet music to the pianist and sang a little bit to relay the tempo of his song. Even just hearing that much, I could tell Daryl was good, really good. The pianist nodded, and Daryl took his place in the center of the classroom. He looked at me and winked. I swear I turned bright red. Did everyone see that? Lena looked back at me, scowling. Daryl began his song. It was incredible. He sang with such confidence. The vibrations of his voice pulsated, making it feel like the room itself was breathing. I looked around, and I could tell everyone else was enjoying themselves as well. Everyone, that is, except Lena.
Well done, Daryl. That song really suits you.
Thanks, Mrs. Larimer.
Mrs. Larimer gave Daryl some adjustments and had him sing parts of the song over again. If this is what my new school was going to be like, just listening to cute boys sing, I had nothing to be worried about. I was starting to like it here. That evening, I was settling into my new bedroom in the dorms. As I was rounding the corner with some of my favorite snacks from the corner store, I heard a familiar voice.
Hi, Greta.
I couldn't believe it. Lena was my next-door neighbor. I was going to have to share a wall with her for the entire school year. I could feel my blood boiling under my skin. Hi, Lena.
Is this your first time in NYC?
She was smirking. What did she think she was better? Better than me just because she lived here longer than I did? I had to take a deep breath to control myself. No, actually, I came here to see Phantom of the Opera years ago.
I love Phantom. I've seen it like 7 times.
Okay, now she was bragging. Whatever, there was no reason to get worked up. I was just going to remove myself from the situation. That's really cool for you, Lena. And then I shut my bedroom door. The following week, when I got into the singing for the stage class, I made sure to bring my very own music book with me. I was ready to finally perform for my new classmates.
Greta, over here.
I looked over to see Daryl beckoning me towards him. He had saved the seat next to him with his backpack. Wow, cute, talented, and thoughtful. This guy seemed too good to be true. Lena looked at Daryl from across the room and rolled her eyes. I plopped down in the seat Daryl saved for me. What was her problem with me?
Don't let Lena give you a hard time. This is kind of awkward, but she and I actually used to date.
I was shocked. How could such a lovely guy date such a cruel girl? As if he could read my mind, Daryl responded.
Yeah, I know. She was actually really nice when we started dating, and she has such a gorgeous voice. We loved singing duets together, but things didn't work out, and now it seems like she's taken it out on you. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. I appreciate you telling me. I had so many more questions for Daryl, but before I got a chance to ask any of them, Mrs. Larimer came into the room.
Okay, class, let's get ready to sing. Greta, have you had time to prepare your audition cut?
I was ready. I had been practicing all weekend, but now I felt so nervous. I clutched my music binder to my chest, willing myself to disappear behind it.
Break a leg, Greta.
My vision blurred until all I could see was Lena's stupid, big, smug face smirking up at me. All of a sudden, I felt like I was 8 years old again. My voice caught in my throat, and I couldn't stop my hands from shaking. Wished my mom was here to give me a reassuring smile. I longed for words of support from my home friends. I searched for Daryl among the sea of unfamiliar classmates, hoping he would provide me with some fortitude. He'd been so sweet to me this past week. He was the only person who seemed interested in being my friend. But when I scanned the room, I was shocked to see Daryl flirting with another girl.
Oh, Daryl, you're so funny.
She was giggling and looking up at me. Was I being paranoid, or were they making fun of me? Tears started in my eyes and my throat clamped down. I don't be able to sing a single note. I ran out of the classroom before my body betrayed me, and I let anyone see me cry. I ran down the hallway and slipped into the bathroom. I was finally alone. Leaning against the cold door, I let the sobs escape.
Greta, is that you?
What the heck was she doing here? Did she just want to rub it in? How I came all the way to NYC and couldn't even sing in a singing class? I felt like my brain was a volcano and lava was about to seep out of my ears. Lena, leave me alone. Haven't you already done enough?
What are you talking about?
I know I'm a failure. You don't need to tell me.
You're not a failure. You know, my first time in singing for the stage, I got so nervous I sang my whole song off key.
What? Was Lena trying to console me? Why are you telling me this?
Because I like you, and I don't want you to feel embarrassed.
You like me? Then why have you been tormenting me all week?
Tormenting you? What are you talking about?
You tripped me on my first day.
I didn't mean to trip you. I'm nearsighted and my glasses haven't come in yet.
I didn't see you until I ran into you.
I'm so embarrassed.
Oh well, what about when you talked down to me in the dorms?
I just wanted to get to know you. You seemed so cool, and I was new last semester, so I know how scary it can be to make new friends. I didn't mean to make you feel belittled. I'm sorry.
But Daryl said you didn't like me because you and him used to date.
Oh, that's so like Daryl. He pursued me last semester when I was the new student. I was so excited to make a new friend, and then it got romantic. But as soon as another new girl started here, he broke up with me. It's like he only has eyes for new girls. I just try to ignore him, but it's difficult because he has so many friends, and I just know he's telling them his own story about why we broke up.
I was remembering my first week with a whole new perspective. Suddenly, every mean thing Lena did to me was a misunderstanding or a kind gesture. I felt so foolish to have believed Daryl. I emerged from behind the bathroom stall and looked at Lena with new eyes. She looked so apologetic. I embraced her in a big hug, and before I knew it, we were both laughing at how silly the past week had been.
Do you think you're ready to get back to class?
Yeah, actually, when we got back to Mrs. Larimer's classroom, I could tell Daryl had been talking about me. Suddenly, his smile wasn't sweet, but a cruel smirk.
Hi, Greta. I'm glad to see you back in class. Are you ready for your song?
Seeing Daryl, I felt that familiar feeling of dread wash over me. But I looked over at Lena, and she gave me a reassuring nod and a warm smile. I'm ready. I closed my eyes and started to sing. I felt a quiver in my voice at first, but then it got stronger and stronger, and soon I was just lost in the lyrics and the music. When the last note ended and I opened my eyes, everyone erupted in applause. Some people stood up while cheering and clapping, and some people were crying, including our teacher. Even Daryl looked stunned.
Greta, your voice is so pure and beautiful. I think I can say for everyone that you've really moved us, and we're honored to have you here.
Lena leapt forward and gave me a bear hug, and finally, I felt at home at my new school.
Hello, I'm Annabelle from Maryland. Please like and subscribe. My parents were both computer specialists who worked from home, so they were always around to shower me with their love. They'd throw me big birthday parties in our backyard and invite the whole neighborhood. Everyone around liked us because my parents were kind and friendly. I looked a lot like my mom, but I took my dad's brown hair, which I loved. But once in first grade, some mean girls started teasing me about it.
Hey, Annabelle, how many birds live inside that nest on your head?
Oh God, you have spiders coming out of your nose again.
What? No, I don't.
But it means you look. The other kids started to laugh, and I kind of became popular after that. People thought I was funny. My life in Maryland was good until one day in the 4th grade, I got home from school to find my parents running all over the house and packing.
Annabelle, go upstairs and take only your most important things.
What are we going on holiday?
Annabelle, just go.
I packed my favorite sweater, some gadgets, and my favorite book. I fell asleep reading in the car while Dad drove miles away from our home. Hours later, I woke up in a cabin deep in the wood. Where are we?
This is our new home.
Huh?
Yes, and tomorrow you'll be starting a new day at your new school.
What? I was so confused and angry. My parents had just moved without even telling me. All my friends were back in Maryland, and I left without saying goodbye. When I asked my parents why we moved so fast, they just said it was related to their work, and left it at that. The next day, I joined my new school, and I made new friends. And my life went on until one day in the 7th grade. Mom and I were in the grocery store when I spotted a man who kept looking at us. I tried ignoring him, but then I saw him making call, and I heard those words.
I found them.
Mom! See that man in black? He's been following us. Her face went pale, and suddenly she took my hand and ran out the door. I saw the man chase us, but we managed to escape. And that night, we had to move again. Are you guys going to tell me what's going on?
The kind of work we do, it makes US special.
What do you mean?
We're like undercover detectives.
But detectives are always out searching for things, and you two are always at home on your computers.
Then we're computer detectives.
I knew he was lying, which made me more frustrated, and my parents even told me not to become close friends with anyone. I didn't see the point anyway, since we'd probably just move again. One day, in 10th grade, I was putting stuff away in my locker when this pretty girl leaned against the wall and kept staring at me. Can I help you with something?
Hi, I'm Layla, your neighbor. We just moved in next to you.
I think you're mistaken. I don't have any neighbors.
Yes, you do. We moved into the old abandoned cabin.
Oh, that place. I thought it was haunted.
The ghost of the haunted cabin would like to be your friend.
I laughed and we started hanging out. After that day, I could guess from her worn-out shoes and bag that she wasn't well off, but she always knew who was wearing which brand and seemed to be really into fashion. Her dream was to be a big designer in Paris one day. One day at recess, I caught her looking at the necklace I was wearing, and I asked her if she'd like to try it on.
How does it look?
Better on you than me. It really suits you. Keep it.
Really? Oh, thank you so much.
A few days later, we were walking home when I felt someone was following us. I turned around to see a really cute guy walking a few steps behind. Do you think that guy is stalking us?
Oh, him. He's my brother, Kyle.
Wow, he's cute.
Not you two. Please promise me that you'll never fall for my brother like the other girls. He's such a douchebag.
I promised I'd ignore his existence, which was hard because he was drop-dead gorgeous. Just as Layla and I got to my house, my parents appeared at the front door.
Who is this?
She's my friend from school, and we're also neighbors. Mom and Dad looked at each other, then pulled me inside, slamming the door in Lila's face.
We have to move again.
What? No way! I'm not moving anymore until you guys tell me what's going on. And this time, I want the truth. Don't treat me like a kid. My parents finally told me everything.
We are in witness protection. I testified against the mobsters when you were younger, and that's why we've been on the run ever since.
What? So we're in danger?
Not if we stay clear from people. We just can't trust anyone right now.
My mind started spinning and I couldn't even eat dinner. The thought of being in danger made me sick. Later that night, I was half asleep when I heard some noise downstairs. I quietly crept to my parents' room, but it was empty. Mom, Dad! My heart was beating like crazy when suddenly Layla's brother walked in. What do you want? Did you do to my parents?
What? My dad's van got stuck in the mud and your parents are outside helping him. They sent me to get a crowbar.
Oh, it's by the fireplace. I followed him outside and saw Mom, Dad, Layla, and her parents pushing the van. Once it was done, everyone came to our house for coffee. My parents didn't look so scared anymore, so I guessed we were staying. Just then, Layla sprung up and asked me if we could go to my room. And when we entered, she threw herself on my bed.
Oh, your bed is so comfortable.
Okay. Don't you have one?
No, I sleep on the couch and my stupid brother gets the bed because he's older than me.
I knew they were poor, but I didn't know things were that bad. Why do you hate your brother so much?
Because he gets everything. I mean, parents are always favoring him.
Since Layla started opening up to me, I decided to open up to her too. And I ended up telling her my parents' secret.
Wow. So you and your parents are like special undercover people?
Yeah, you could say that.
That is so cool.
Just then, Kyle came to my door and said they were going home. He looked directly at me while I spoke to Layla, and I blushed. Layla clearly noticed it because as she was leaving, she whispered in my ear,
"Remember your promise?"
The next day at school, the principal had a shocking announcement to make. She said that someone had broken into the cheerleaders' locker room the day before and stolen many wallets, watches, and cell phones.
We have a hooded figure caught on the security footage, and when I identify the culprit, he or she will be expelled. But if you come forward and confess, I'll be willing to consider another punishment.
Later that day, I was in the library trying to reach a book when suddenly Kyle appeared next to me and took it down. I mumbled to thank you and turned to leave, but I suddenly stumbled, and just as I was about to fall, he caught me, and I couldn't help looking into his blue eyes.
What's going on here?
He just helped me get the book. After Kyle was done, Lila walked with me quietly down the hallway, but then she suddenly stopped.
I have to tell you something, Annabelle. I think Kyle stole all the things the principal was talking about.
What? Why do you think that?
Because he's done it before in our old school.
I was shocked. Layla stayed back for some after-school club that day. And as I was walking back home, Kyle, suddenly joined me.
We could walk together, if you don't mind.
Okay, if you insist. He tried striking up a conversation, but I kept my answers really short. Just then, I tripped on a rock and he caught me before I hit the ground, but I quickly pulled away.
Annabelle, did Layla say something about me?
As a matter of fact, she did. Did you steal all that stuff from the cheerleaders?
Gosh, no, I'd never do that. Listen, Layla hates me because our dad left her mom from my mom. She's been making my life miserable since forever by making up awful stories about me.
He looked so genuine that I couldn't help believing him. We took a walk by the riverside and spoke some more, and I felt butterflies every time he looked into my eyes. And when he dropped me home, he gave me a quick kiss on the cheek. I couldn't stop thinking about him the whole night. But the next day at school, Layla approached me, looking upset.
I thought you were a good friend, but I guess you're more desperate to be with my brother. Yeah, I came home early and I saw that kiss.
Wait, Layla, please! But she stormed off and ignored me the whole day. After school, I saw her by her locker and walked up to her, and she looked startled. Before she could shut her locker, a couple of watches fell to the floor. Where did you get these? And what else do you have in there?
They're mine, of course, and none of you are for business.
You stole those from the cheerleaders.
No, I didn't. I found these things in Kyle's room, and now I'm returning them before he could sell them, and I'm covering his butt. See what a good sister I am.
Stop lying. If you don't confess to the principal, I'll tell her. Suddenly, Layla dropped to her knees, crying.
Okay, yes, I took them. I have a problem. I can't help it. I want to be able to afford beautiful things, and sometimes when I see the girls here with their branded stuff, it makes me feel crazy. I know it was wrong, and I'll go to the principal tomorrow, okay? But please don't tell anyone yet, especially Kyle.
I promised that I wouldn't, and I said I'd go to the principal with her, and everyone had to bring their parents for the first class. As my parents explained their fake computer job to my classmates, Layla suddenly spoke up.
Your computer specialists? Well, that's not what your daughter says. In fact, she makes up these tall stories about how you're undercover detectives who testified against the mobsters, and now you're on the run. Clearly, Annabelle has a lying and attention-seeking problem.
My parents' faces turned white, and I just couldn't believe Layla had announced my secret. They signaled at me to come out, and Layla leaned over and whispered,
"See you never again."
My parents were furious that I told Layla everything. "I'm so sorry. I thought I could trust Sir." We frantically started packing, but just as we were leaving, we heard a screeching car coming towards our house, but it was a police car.
We were alerted by someone that you might be in danger, but we came here to tell you that the threat to you guys is gone. The mobsters who have been after you were arrested earlier this week, and just today they were sentenced to life in prison. You're safe now.
My parents and I were overjoyed. We didn't have to run anymore, but I certainly had some business to take care of in school. Went back and marched straight to the principal, and moments later, she ordered Layla to open her locker. All the stolen items were found. Her parents were called in, and she was expelled. She turned furiously to her dad.
"It's all your fault. You made me crazy by leaving. Mom, am I always giving everything to Kyle and not me?"
Your mom and I got divorced because that's what we both wanted, and Kyle works 2 jobs to help me. He has things because he earns them while all you do is complete.
As Layla was storming off, she suddenly leapt at Kyle, but I pushed her back. Her dad took her away, and soon after, I found out that Layla had been sent to live with her mom. Kyle asked me out, and we dated all throughout high school. After we graduated, I was going to study abroad. A few hours before my flight, I met Kyle at our favorite spot by the river.
I got you something. Close your eyes.
He put something around my wrist, and I saw that it was a silver bangle with our names carved on it. Wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah, no more charm bracelets. I don't want you getting stuck on another boy's sweater.
Never. I like being stuck right here, and I'll be coming back to you, Kyle. Hi, I'm Alina from Hawaii. Please like and subscribe. I live with my mom, right on the ocean shore, but Dad left before I was born. According to Mom, that's because she was under a love spell that ran in our family. She could only fall in love with people who didn't love her back. And apparently, I was under the same spell too. Mom told me the only way I could avoid the curse was by staying away from all boys. So, whenever we left the house, I'd march around with a toy water gun and sprayed it at any guy that came my way. Girls roll, boys are dumb. Any boy who comes close is going to get sprayed. I also went to an all-girls school and even wore a custom I Hate Boys t-shirt. Then one day, everything changed. I was swimming in the ocean when the cutest guy ever glided over to me and stared into my eyes. Oh crud! I swam away as fast as I could and tumbled on the shore.
Has anyone told you you swim like a fish with cramps?
I do not. Also, any guy that tries to talk to me gets a face full of sand.
How about you help me eat some pineapple cake instead? If you don't like it, you can go back to being mad.
Pineapple cake was my weakness, so I agreed to sit with the guy for a picnic. I found out his name was Sage, and we got to know each other a bit. I told him all about my crazy life, my family's love curse, and how I wasn't supposed to talk to boys.
A love curse? Your mom sounds like a nutcase.
My mom isn't a nutcase. I don't know. She says it's been my family for generations. I felt guilty for betraying Mom, but I was having fun with Sage, and he didn't seem like a bad guy. So after that day, we secretly became friends. We either met at the beach, or we'd go over to each other's houses when no one was home. Then, 1 year later, Sage and I were sitting on my roof talking when I heard Mom get home. But when I went down to see her, I suddenly heard Sage yell.
I could use a hand here.
Who are you?
Sage, you idiot!
So you know this boy?
Before I could answer, Sage fell from our roof and landed in our hammock.
Lucky fall. Yeah, Alina and I are friends, but we never told you about it because of your wacko family curse. No offense, ma'am.
Please stop talking. Mom, it's not like that. Sage is a really cool guy. But Mom's face was red with anger, and she sent Sage home immediately. I was sure the whole thing would blow over. But a couple of days later, I saw that Sage had changed his number and deleted all of his social media accounts. And when I went to his house, I saw his family had moved out. Tears stung my eyes. I just knew Mom had sent him away, and when I confronted her, she got mad.
I did no such thing, but you shouldn't even be thinking about that boy. You disobeyed me and betrayed my trust.
You sent my best friend away because you're a lunatic who believes in some family legend. Sage was right. You are nuts, and I'm not following your rules anymore. And I stuck to my word. I forced Mom to send me to a co-ed school, and our relationship went downhill from there. I did everything I could to go against Mom's rules. I dated every boy I could get and made sure to rub it in Mom's face. Oh, Tommy, your lips are so soft. Grab a net and catch me. I must be dreaming. I knew I was making her crazy, but I just couldn't forgive her for sending Sage away. One night, I was at a high school party with my newest boyfriend Connor, and we were dancing the night away. Then suddenly, a girl pointed to the door.
Oh my god, it's the new guy from school who invited him. He's a criminal.
At that second, I saw someone with a wound on their face, and my heart dropped when I realized it was Sage. I hadn't seen him in over a year. What had happened to him?
Whoa, babe, are you okay? Do you know that guy?
Good to see you again, stranger.
Sage, what is going on? This isn't who you are.
You don't know who I am anymore, Alina. Good luck dating this weirdo, bro. Did you know she's under some love spell?
Sage walked away, and I was totally speechless. What a jerk. Later that night, I got more scoop on him from some kids.
Sage went to juvie once because he smashed a lady's car with a bat.
And one time, Sage stole a little girl's kitten and ran away with it.
There had to be some kind of mistake. That entire week, Sage ignored me at school, even though he stared at me 24/7, especially when I was with my boyfriend. One time, Connor bought me a hazelnut latte, and I was about to kiss him on the cheek to thank him. But then stupid Sage walked by, and I was so distracted I ended up spilling coffee all over myself. Good God, he was freaking everywhere, like a really handsome mafia guy from a horror movie. One afternoon, I was studying in the library when I saw Sage reading a book there, and suddenly he smiled at me mischievously.
So you really are dating boys now? I'm sorry I said that mean stuff about you the other day. I was feeling protective of you and want to scare Connor away.
Oh, are you also sorry for ghosting me for a year?
Look, my life is more complicated now than it used to be, but things at school are normal, so maybe we can try to be friends again. What do you say?
Sage squeezed my hand, and I felt butterflies. Then suddenly, a hand pulled us apart, and it was Connor's. He insisted on sitting with us since he didn't trust me sitting with a so-called criminal. But Sage just left soon after Connor came, which made my heart sink. Later, Connor ended up walking me out and pulled me close under some lovely trees.
I know you and that Sage guy used to be close, but it's obvious he's changed. The good thing is, I have you all to myself now. No guy will come in between us.
Connor kissed me, and that's when I realized I didn't feel any sparks or anything between us. Then what was wrong with me? I am so confused right now. You're perfect. I'm awkward, and I don't think I can date you. Something's stopping me, but I have no idea what it is yet. Pull it together, Alina. I got to go. I ran off feeling really guilty about dumping Connor. He was as sweet and perfect as a guy could be. He was furious with me that whole week and started telling everyone what a witch I was. I guess I really hurt him. One afternoon, I walked to the bleachers for some peace and quiet when I saw Sage sitting there alone. Oh great, you're here. Don't worry, I'm leaving.
Alina, can you keep a secret? There's something I've been wanting to tell you since I came here.
Sage, you can tell me anything.
Okay, then I'm not a criminal. All those stories about me are lies. The real criminal is my dad. He got me involved one time in a robbery and I got caught. That's why I had to leave town, change my number, and delete my accounts and stuff. I'm so sorry I didn't tell you. The whole town is now filled with lies about me.
So you stealing the kitten was a lie?
Of course, I helped a kitten down from a freaking tree, but it was hard having everyone hate me. I got depressed and started doing dumb things. Don't worry, I'm going to quit.
It felt so good to have my friend back, except for some reason, he didn't feel like just a friend anymore. Without thinking, I pulled Sage close and kissed him. Oh man, I think I like you.
And I know I like you.
And from that day on, Sage and I were an item. He was still the dork I knew from before, but he was all grown up, and God, I was falling harder for him by the day. But there was one person who was really upset about it, Mom. And one night, when I was in 12th grade, she totally lost it.
Do you not remember how Sage shut you out for a year and broke your heart? You're going down a dark, dark path.
And you're still seriously crazy. I've been dating for a while now, and nothing bad has happened because I know how to take care of myself. I don't blame stuff on magic spell nonsense.
This is different. You love Sage, and I can't have you getting hurt. So if you decide to stay with this person after high school, I'm out of the picture. I won't come to your wedding. I won't support it. It's just too much for me.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Mom and I had never had a good relationship, but now I just had it with her. So after I graduated, I moved in with Sage, and we were happy together, even though I still wasn't speaking to Mom. Then one day, I was at the mall when I saw a gorgeous aquamarine engagement ring. I felt butterflies and pictured Sage proposing to me with it. I snapped a picture of it and sent it to him. I sure hoped he could take a hint. But when I arrived home, Sage was sitting on the couch with all the lights off. Hey babe, what's going on?
My dad got arrested again for 2 months.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Sage, but I have something that may cheer you up. It's about a text I sent you about an engagement ring.
Alina, we can't get engaged. What if I end up just like my dad? I can't do this to you. I love you too much. I'm going to stay at my cousin's place for a while to think things over. I'm sorry.
Before I could blink an eye, Sage left, and I was shaking with shock. Did he just break up with me? That's when I burst into tears and drove over to Mom's house. For the first time in years, she held me and tried to calm me down. I'm so sorry about everything. You were right. The curse is real, and I'm such an idiot for not believing you. I wish Sage and I had never even met.
Oh, darling, don't say that. Listen, I'm very happy you came by. I want to apologize for everything. While you were away, I started dating someone who treated me like royalty. And I realized something. The curse was never real. It was all in our heads.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But Sage left Mom just like Dad left you.
That's just how love is, honey. It's hard, but it can also be the most wonderful thing in the world.
I stayed with Mom for a few months after that to think things through. Sage flooded my phone with apology texts and calls, but I needed space from him. Then one day, I went to the doctor and she told me some news. I was pregnant, except there was one problem. I didn't trust my boyfriend one bit to raise a kid with me.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm sorry and that I won't leave you again? I was just upset about my dad, and I got scared for a second.
Well, how do I know you're not going to get scared for a second time and leave again? I don't need you to help me raise this baby, so just leave, okay? But the truth was, I missed Sage more than anything. And 9 months later, in the delivery room, I was still missing him. Then suddenly, Mom walked in with the nurses who were carrying my beautiful baby Michaela. And behind them was Sage. Oh my God, what are you doing here? I thought I told you to stay away.
Alina, listen to me. My dad's out of the picture. I reported him and got him arrested after he confessed to more crimes. I don't want someone dangerous like that in my life anymore. I love you and I want to raise our daughter together. I won't let anything or anyone get in the way of that.
So, is that your way of saying you want to meet Michaela?
Let me see that gorgeous face.
Don't let your broken heart stay broken forever, because life is all about loving and letting yourself be loved.
Hi, my name is Charlotte. Please like and subscribe. I was born in Bordeaux, a beautiful city in France. When I was 8 years old, we moved to the USA because my dad got a great job there. The city we moved to was huge, filled with skyscrapers, shops, and opportunities, for so I was told. However, it didn't take long for things to start going downhill. When I began attending school there, my parents enrolled me in a private school for international students.
Hi, everyone. My name is Charlotte. I'm 8 years old and I come from France. I brought some madeleines that my mom made for everyone today.
Hi, Charlotte. I'm Laura from Italy. Do you want to hang out later today?
Laura and I became very close. We would often take the same bus home, do our homework together, and even attend drawing classes together. Even though Laura didn't speak any French, being with her reminded me a lot of home. I was shy and liked to keep things to myself, while Laura was fun and a bit wild, someone my mom wouldn't think was classy. Mom really didn't like Laura. She kept trying to make me hang out with kids from rich families that I didn't like, but I ended up making friends with 2 girls just so Mom would stop nagging me. One evening, I forgot to tell Mom I invited Laura over for dinner. Mom was really mean to Laura when she came.
Charlotte mentioned your mom is a saleswoman. Do you guys even eat dinner every night, or is it too expensive at least?
Why would you say something like that?
Hey, it's okay, Uncle. No, we don't always have big dinners, but what we do have is each other. What's the point of a fancy dinner if the family isn't close?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing. Did I upset you? I thought your family was okay.
I think you should go!
Mom! Why?
She's not going anywhere.
She leaves now, or you'll be sorry.
Awkward silence fell, which Laura broke.
Don't worry, I'll go. Seems like I just got my answer about the kind of family this is.
Leave now!
And with that, Laura left. I was really upset with Mom, but she didn't seem to care. Laura told me not to let it bother me.
You already have it tough with a mom like that. I won't make it worse by leaving you alone.
I love you for being here. One gloomy day in the 6th grade. Everything changed when my parents started to struggle financially after my dad lost his job and they had to move me to a public school.
We can't just pull her out of school. She's doing so well. What would I even say to my friends if they asked? I want her to succeed here in the USA, to make something of herself, and make me proud.
Dad slammed his hand angrily on the table and glared at Mom.
At least think clearly for once. You're not seeing the big picture. As usual, you don't seem to get that I've lost my job and we're drowning in bills. The only sensible move is to switch her to public school.
Yes, Mom was a bit of a difficult person. She was obsessed with maintaining a perfect image. Being perceived as poor was a disaster for her. Her mom was also a strict lady, obsessed with etiquette and rules. She was against my mom's marriage, although my dad was well off. But Mom stood firm and married Dad, so her parents cut her off. Now us not having much money, would make my grandma right, and that made my mom even madder. She made us move to a different city so she could lie and tell her friends that Dad had received a job opportunity far away. I screamed and cried for days. I didn't want to leave our city or be away from Laura. But as usual, Mom ignored my protests. I was heartbroken.
Dad, I hate her.
Hate is a strong word. You know how your mom is. She wants things her way. Life hasn't ended, though. You'll make new friends. And about Laura, you can still talk to her on the phone, and I'll help you see her once in a while.
Thank you, Dad. You're too kind to be with someone like her, but I guess life isn't fair.
Saying goodbye to Laura was incredibly hard. And to make things worse, after we moved, I realized I forgot the notebook with Laura's number in it. It was utterly heartbroken. Even though we didn't have a lot of money, Mom kept having big parties at fancy places for her friends. We were getting more and more into debt, even though Dad asked her many times to stop the parties. One day, she even gave her friend a really expensive ring for her birthday. Dad got really upset when the bank called him.
Listen, woman, I can't take this anymore. This is your last chance, If you don't stop, we might have to split up.
And I'll want to stay with Dad.
With that, Mom left. She was gone for a couple of days. Although Dad and I were worried, we didn't try to reach her. It was time for her to act like the adult she supposedly was. When she returned, she walked into the house and started doing laundry as if nothing had happened. From that day on, she stopped seeing her friends so much and didn't waste our money anymore. I was relieved she finally came to her senses, but I could see a change in her. Her eyes had lost. Well, things at the public school weren't perfect either. At first it was okay, but things changed quickly. When I started junior year of high school, I noticed my body changing rapidly, even spotting some freckles on my face. It wasn't just my appearance that was changing. My social life was too suddenly always started looking at me differently. Girls were going out with boys, and there seemed to be more parties.
Hey Charlotte, how about grabbing some ice cream after school? Just the two of us?
Just us? Alone?
Yeah, just us. Why were you planning on turning it into a group event?
Well, I thought maybe we could invite Jessica too.
Look, I wasn't making a guest list. You know what? Forget it. I got to go. And hey Charlotte, or should I call you the lost little raccoon? Just because you're from France doesn't mean you're anything special here. If anything, it just shows you can't take a joke and always dampen the mood.
Before I could respond, he pressed his gum into my hair as he walked away. It was not just embarrassing, it felt like a sharp hug at my dignity. I came back home that day, wanting to tell Mom about it. She was cooking in the kitchen when I walked in.
Hi, Mom. I had a weird day at school today.
I really don't have time for your stories right now. You know, we've been living in the USA for quite a while, and you still call a lot of things weird.
I felt so angry I started crying. Our relationship wasn't that great to begin with, but now it felt ruined. If a girl doesn't find confidence in her mother, then the relationship feels distant, and each day I was growing further away from my mom. I headed to my room to put away my books when I spotted a sketchbook on my desk. It was from the drawing classes with Laura, and it had her number inside. Turns out it saved it here as well. I was ecstatic. I quickly and quietly went to the living room, wrapped my mom's phone, and dialed Laura's mom's number.
Hello, Elise! What do you want?
Hi, it's actually Charlotte here. Laura's friend from school. Do you remember me? Can I talk to Laura?
Oh, Charlotte. Yes, I remember you. One moment. Laura, your friend Charlotte is on the phone.
Wow, I've been trying to find you, but I couldn't. How are you?
Hey Laura, I'm not on social media much. I really miss talking to you. We should hang out soon. I'd love to, but my family is going to Europe this Friday.
Europe? That's so cool. I wish I could go too. You're so lucky.
Why don't you come with us? My grandparents' house is big and you can stay in the guest room.
I'd love to, but my mom would never say yes.
We don't have to tell her everything. Just say you're going on a school project abroad. She loves to brag about this stuff now.
Laura, that's smart. It's going to be so fun. We can eat lots of good food, see new places, and maybe even paint. I'd love to paint in a quiet spot away from all the noise, especially away from Mom.
In fact, I found out that the city Laura and I were visiting was hosting a big art competition during our stay, and I signed up for it. On Friday, my mother drove me to the airport with a big smile on her face. I got out of the car and walked to the airport gate when I saw Laura. She looked great and ran up to me.
Charlotte for going to Europe! It's going to be so fun!
I'm so excited. I entered a drawing contest over there too. The prize is also about $500,000. Can you come and cheer for me? It feels like a dream.
Sure! But but you have to draw me and make my eyebrows look good.
I enjoyed spending time with Laura, but sometimes things felt off. It seemed like she would suddenly stop talking to her mom when I showed up, as if they were hiding something from me. One night after we had dinner, she said something strange.
You know, I was actually happy when your family started having money problems.
What? Why would you say that?
Well, your mom was a witch, and seeing her getting humiliated was so satisfying.
First of all, becoming poor has nothing to do with humiliation. Second, Mom becoming poor also means me becoming poor. I thought your love for me was bigger than your hate for her.
Oh, come on now! She's awful! Okay, let's change the subject. Want to eat some ice cream?
I suddenly don't feel like it. I think I'm calling it a night.
And with that, I stormed off. The competition day was getting close. It was going to last 2 days. The first for live painting in front of an audience, and the second for a closing ceremony where judges would announce the winners.
Do you think the judges will be fair?
I'm sure they will be. Are you excited to cheer me on?
Of course. Will you cheer for me too?
What do you mean?
I'm entering the competition too. You knew that, right?
What? No!
You think I've lost my touch? I've been taking drawing classes for the past year. I see this as a great chance.
But Laura, you never mentioned this.
I didn't think I needed to report my plans to you. Anyway, I think it's better we focus on our own preparations for the next few days, so we probably shouldn't hang out too much.
I was stunned. What happened to my best friend? I almost regretted coming on this trip. The only thing keeping me here was the upcoming competition. I was determined to win and get the prize. The first day of the competition arrived. We were led onto the stage, each competitor equipped with a set of pencils, colors, and a blank canvas. Laura leaned over with a mischievous grin and whispered,
"May, the best girl."
I was too stressed to respond and just focused on getting onto the stage. That's when I saw it. The event was being broadcasted live on TV. My heart sunk. I thought,
oh no! My mom will see this. She'll ground me for life.
Not only did I lie to her, but I'm also here with Laura, someone she can't stand. And now Laura, she turned out to be so different from what I thought. This is a nightmare. I wish I could just vanish. But I took a deep breath, pushed down my fear, and began to paint with all my heart, pouring every emotion onto the canvas. While sitting comfortably at home, my mom saw my face on the TV screen and yelled,
Pierre, our daughter, isn't on a school project. She's on TV with Laura. This is nonsense. She won't get away with this. We're flying to Europe.
My parents caught the next flight and arrived on the second day of the competition. Mom tried calling me the whole time, but I was too caught up with the competition and the drama with Laura to answer. On the final day, as I stood on stage with Laura and the other competitors, they started announcing the winners. Laura got second place and I was on the verge of tears until they announced Charlotte is the winner. Overjoyed, I walked towards the microphone to give a speech, only to see my mom storm into the hall. I was shocked and embarrassed, yelling in front of everyone. She demanded,
How could you? Lie to me, Charlotte. You know there will be consequences. And with Laura, of all people.
Oh, me? Of all people? Remember when you burned the book that Charlotte wrote my number in? You called and insulted me and my mom, who even threatened me, a child, to stay away from Charlotte. Do you want me to say what? You did too.
Shut it!
Don't you dare speak to my daughter like that. Laura, what exactly did my mom do to you?
Let it go! Didn't you just win? Take your prize and leave with your parents.
Your mom threatened Laura's mom with her connections in immigration, saying she'd get her deported.
What kind of sick person hates a kid like this? What has she ever done to you? You need help. I'm taking the prize money and I'm leaving with Dad. You should consider getting help. I'll even pay for your therapy.
I traveled all this way for you to side with her. What lies has she told you?
Enough! Let's go, Charlotte.
Laura, what my mom did was wrong, but targeting me wasn't fair. Still, I'm here if you want to start over.
Then I went to receive my medal and prize, hugged my dad, and we left.
Hello, my name is Jordan, and I'm from New Jersey. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Growing up, I was a quiet girl, and always found it hard to make friends. Like this one time when I was in kindergarten, I was just sitting by myself playing with doll, and out of nowhere, this one girl by the name of Layla came over.
Why do you always sit by yourself?
Because I like to.
Well, you're weird. And that's my doll.
No, it's not. The teacher said I could have it.
Oh, yeah.
Saying that Layla just punched down on the doll. When the teacher saw us, she scolded Layla and complained to her mother too. And ever since, Layla had been nothing but mean to me. When I turned 7, my mom met my stepdad, and he had a daughter who was 3 years older than me, Esther. They moved in with us, and at first I thought Esther and I would never get along because she was so messy, and that I was a bit of a clean freak. But then she turned out to be really cool. Like this one time when I was in the 4th grade, and Layla pushed me as I was walking. But thank God, Esther caught me right in time.
I am so gonna get that witch.
Leave her, she's a brat. Moments later, I heard shouts and saw that Esther had tripped Layla and her minions with a rope. Oh my gosh! Esther, where did you get this rope from?
From the gym room. I planned on taking it home. It'll make a great skipping rope.
I forgot to mention brave. Esther could do it all. She loved having fun all the time, and she helped me face my social fears. Esther, you're the best. I so want to be like you. You're not afraid of anything.
You should see her when I mention vacations.
Vacation? Why?
I am afraid of airplanes. I don't know why, but everything about them scares me.
Ha ha ha. That's nothing, Esther. When I was in the 7th grade, and Mom took us to a park gathering our school held, all the kids got together playing fun games, but I was too shy. And then Esther pulled me from my comfort zone next to Mom.
Come on, Jordan. You're missing out on all the fun.
But what if they don't like me?
You're wasting your time. She's been a sad, lonely girl all her life. Layla, nobody asked you.
I decided to be brave. And boy, how much fun that was. We played on the water slide, climbing the longest rope and playing volleyball. It was the best time of my life. And then the parents called for a talent contest. Mom put my name in and I had no idea what to do. She said it was good practice to overcome my social anxiety, and to make matters worse, I was the first to go on stage.
Go! You can totally do it!
I was feeling so nervous because I didn't have any talent besides maybe humming a little. So I closed my eyes and just sang, blocking everyone out. When I was done, I opened my eyes. I was shocked to see people staring at me with pin-drop silence. OMG! Was I that bad? But when all the kids and their parents stood up and clapped for me, I couldn't believe it. It was the first time I actually felt confident.
Oh my gosh, baby girl. I didn't know you could sing like that.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Esther! Well, she stood there stunned, as if she had seen a ghost. I was hoping she'd congratulate me, but she didn't. When it was Esther's turn, the moment she started singing, everybody covered their ears, but Esther kept singing without a worry in the world. She only stopped when the audience started to boo her.
I feel like my ears will bleed. Someone get her off the stage.
This is pure torture.
Esther looked totally heartbroken and ran off. Don't worry about them. I think he sang pretty well.
Yeah, right. Easy for you to say. Just leave me alone.
Right then, Layla put her arm around Esther and she actually let her.
Looks like your stepsister has stolen your spotlight.
Esther didn't say anything and pushed past me. After that day, Esther and I kept growing further apart. She stopped talking to me, and whenever Mom and Dad would praise me for anything, Esther would roll her eyes and leave the room.
Don't worry, sweetheart. She'll come around.
I so wished she did. But things only got worse, especially when Esther started hanging out with none other than Layla. One night, I just had enough and wanted to talk to my sister, so I went to Esther's room and found the door ajar and saw that she was making a face call with Layla.
How do you live with Jordan? She is such a Miss Perfect. She totally outshined you on purpose. She could have refused to participate, but she wanted to show how perfect she was, and you were not. You really think so? You're probably right. She could have backed off, but she didn't. I can't believe she would do that to me. Oh, let's get back at her. No, I'm not sure about this. Shh, listen. I know just the thing. My mom threw some rotten eggs outside in the trash. I'm sure that'll make a nice hair pudding for Jordan. Then she'll go back to being the mouse she is.
I hid before she could see me, and I just felt my heart break into a million pieces that Esther would listen to some witch and plot against me. The next day, I went to school early. When Esther got to school, she was fuming because she couldn't find me, and during recess, I stayed in the library. But then they found me and interrupted my Avatar World moment.
Ah, here you are. I thought you bunked school today.
Nope. Can I help you with anything?
Yeah, but I need you to come with me.
So you can throw eggs at me. Nah, I'm good.
See, she thinks she's such a know-it-all. No wonder she has your dad wrapped around her finger.
Stop filling her head with nonsense, Layla. Our parents love us both the same way.
Ugh, I doubt that.
Saying that, Esther stormed off and Layla followed her. After that day, Esther only got meaner towards me. One time when we were in the 8th grade, Mom took us to a concert of our favorite singer, Ariana Grande. Esther and I, we both were crazy about her. And when we were there, the singer called me up on stage since I knew all her moves so well. While dancing with her, Esther popped up on stage like a crazy person and took the mic from her and started singing off tune. Things got kind of messy. I saw the guards coming her way. She was being silly, so I tried to take the mic. Suddenly, I lost my balance and ended up falling off the stage and blacked out. I don't know how long I was out, but I woke up in the hospital and I couldn't move my legs. Mom? Something is wrong with my legs. Mom called the doctor and he used a silver metal thing to touch my legs. I couldn't feel anything. And then the doctor told my mom that I couldn't walk until I regained muscle control. And until then, I needed to use a wheelchair. What? Me on a wheelchair? No, that can't be true. Mom, please tell him to do something. I was devastated. And then Esther walked in with her dad and I lost my mind. What is she doing here? It's because of her I can't walk.
I am so sorry this happened to you, Jordan. Again, I am so sorry.
Well, your sorry is not going to make anything better. Esther cried in her dad's arms, and everything was just a big mess. The next 2 days while at home, everyone was quiet, and then Mom and Dad went grocery shopping, leaving me and Esther alone.
I'm making myself a sandwich. Can I make you one too?
I can do it myself. When I tried to reach for the peanut butter, I struggled. So I lifted myself off the chair a little but ended up falling off the wheelchair.
Jordan!
Esther ran to help me, but I pushed her away. I was so angry because if it wasn't for her stupid jealousy, everything would have been fine. Get away from me!
Jordan! I only want to help. Sometimes jealousy can make one so blind. I was not a good singer, and I should have just focused on something else.
Oh, shut up for God's sake. Save your regret. In my eyes, you're just a witch. She looked at me with tears in her eyes, but my heart was too angry to forgive her. Thank God Mom and Dad came and picked me up. Later that night, Mom and my stepdad spoke to me.
Jordan, we know that you blame Esther for this. She blames herself too. But can you find it in your heart to forgive her?
Really? We are having this conversation. Tell me, Mom, if someone pushed you and you broke your legs, would you forgive that person?
I'm sorry you feel this way, Jordan, but if you want, Esther and I can move out.
No, I couldn't let that happen. My mom loved my stepdad dearly. I couldn't take that away from her, so I decided to come to terms with the fact that Esther was part of the deal, no matter if I liked it or not. I can't promise I'll forgive her, but I'll try. Just give me time. When I went back to school, I was a bit worried about how kids would act around me, but to my surprise, everyone was normal. I wheeled myself over to the drama production board and saw that they were auditioning for a big talent reality show that was happening in LA, so wished I could try it out. But right then, Esther came beside me.
So you're auditioning?
Yeah, it would have been my chance too, but
Jordan, you can audition. You can totally go there and show the world how good you sing.
Oh, so now you're going to mock me. Bravo.
I am not mocking you. There are no rules that stayed. A person on a wheelchair can't audition.
She was right about the rule thing, because when I applied and sent the organizers a video audition, they straight away wanted me to come to LA and show them what I got. OMG, I was so excited. A trip to LA, it was going to be magnificent. Mom and my stepdad were so excited, but when they told me they couldn't afford the trip, I felt really sad. But the next day, Dad announced that I could actually go for the audition. I was all ready to go, but one day before my flight, my stepdad had to travel out of the city for business. And that night, my mom felt sick.
Honey, I can't go with you. I am so sorry.
Mom, don't worry about it. It's like fine. Just then, Esther stepped in.
I can take you. Don't worry, Mom. I'll take care of Jordan, I promise.
It was just a 5-hour, 20-minute flight to LA, and I planned to sleep all the way. But right when it started to take off, I noticed how pale Esther looked. Are you all right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I be? I'm fine.
And then it hit me. Esther hates airplanes. She was scared of flying. I held her hand tight and told her to calm down. Throughout the flight, Esther was more concerned for me than herself. The entire flight, she held my hand, even when she was asleep. At that moment, I felt grateful, but I just couldn't forget what she did to me. Once we landed, Esther took me to the audition. And to my utter shock, Layla was there too. Oh God, why her?
Yeah, Layla, how come you're here? I don't think you have any talent.
I can ask the same question. Why are you two here? How could you even afford the trip? Sold Dad's car or something? Excuse me, it's my turn. Move aside.
Afford the trip? What was she talking about, Esther?
Just nothing. Are you ready for the performance?
Who paid for this trip? Our parents can't afford it.
I sold the diamond ring my birth mom gave to me when I was little. It's just a ring. You matter more to me, more than anything.
I couldn't believe she did that for me. I smiled at her and she smiled back.
Go get him, Tiger!
When I went on stage, I absolutely nailed it. The judges clapped for me, and I could see Esther with tears in her eyes giving me a thumbs up. When I reached backstage, Esther came running and hugged me tight. But suddenly, Layla appeared with tears in her eyes. Apparently, the judges hated her magic tricks, and she was disqualified right away.
You can't have everything in life!
She then tried to push my wheelchair, but Esther lunged at Layla and the two broke out into a catfight, while all the other contestants looked at them like they were freaks. I had to help Esther because Layla had her hair in her grip, so I tried to lift myself from the wheelchair but fell hard on the floor. I had to help my sister. I gathered all my strength, and when I finally stood on my feet, I was ecstatic. Esther! Esther, look! I was still wobbly, but I neared Layla, who was looking at my legs with wide eyes, and I punched her square in the jaw. Finally, security arrived and took her away.
I am so happy you're able to stand.
I guess I just needed motivation, and saving you from that witch was my motivation.
Jordan, I am so sorry for everything, for all the times I was a jerk to you.
All's forgiven, we're sisters, that's what we do. Fight and then make up.
I kick Dad's car again and again. I hate them. I hate them so much. They just love making me miserable. They make fun of me. They're mean to me. They think I'm not special. But I'll find out what makes me special. One day, everyone will love me and they'll see. Hi, I'm Betty, and I hate my family. I'm the youngest child, and I have a mean older sister, Emily. My parents never wanted me, and they never failed to let me know that.
Oh man, I told you we shouldn't have kept the baby. Just look at her. She's so ugly. I'm not taking that thing in my house.
That's what my dad said when I was born.
Oh, shut up. Stop being so dramatic. She can be useful in the house.
On my 10th birthday, I asked my mom why they don't celebrate my birthday like they do Emily's.
Oh, don't you know? We didn't plan for you, and we don't want you. Also, we look like a royal family. And just look at you. You look like a maid.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but she wasn't finished.
I think it's time you start earning your keep in this house. Starting tomorrow, you're doing all the house chores. Since you're old enough to ask for a birthday party, you're old enough to work.
I knew I wasn't beautiful like Emily. I think I wasn't really beautiful at all. But something down in my soul told me that I'm special in some way. Not bragging, but I just knew it. I just had to find it. The next day, I was napping when my sister barged into my room and slammed the door. I woke up immediately, feeling really startled. She stood by the door with a sneaky smile on her face.
Oh, poor baby. Are you scared? I'm so sorry I woke you up.
I was so angry. I knew she wasn't sorry. She got a thrill out of making me miserable. She was always trying to embarrass me at school, too. One morning, while I was getting ready for school, she entered my room with a yellow sundress and threw it at me.
Here, you can wear this. It's too outdated for me now, but it's still better than anything you have.
I knew immediately that she gave me that dress because she wanted to humiliate me. Sure, I replied. So I changed some things about the dress to make it more fashionable, and then I paired it with black boots when I walked into class. Everyone was staring at me. I could tell they were impressed by my outfit and sense of fashion. I was so happy. After class, when Emily saw me in the hall, she looked shocked and horrified.
How dare you do that to my dress?
With that, she stormed off angrily, and I felt even happier. One day, I saw Emily going through Mom's cupboard and walking away with a box. Of course, they wouldn't mind her taking anything she wanted. But a couple of days later, Mom barged into my room with Dad and Emily right behind her.
Accusing me of stealing her jewelry.
I told her I didn't do it. I pointed at Emily. Why don't you ask your precious daughter? I saw her taking it. Emily gave me an evil smile, and I started to feel suspicious.
Emily would never do that. I'm going to search your room, and if I find it, girl, you'll wish you were never born.
What an irony! She searched my room and found the jewelry. I was dumbfounded. Emily must have planted it in my room. I just stood there speechless.
You thief.
Emily was giggling, and Dad started screaming at me. No matter how many times I said I hadn't stolen it, he just wouldn't believe me. He told me I was grounded for 2 weeks with no phone and no lunch money. As if that wasn't bad enough, he said I had to clean the house from top to bottom. I looked at my dad with hatred. He pampered my mom and Emily, but treated me like dirt. I couldn't take it anymore, so I screamed at them. I hate you. I hate you guys. They looked shocked because I'd never stood up to them before. Just you watch. I'll find what makes me special and people will love me for it. I stormed out of the room and ran outside to my dad's car and kicked it. It felt good. A week after that, I was looking for my math assignment everywhere. I asked Emily if she had taken it, but she said no. Of course, I didn't trust her. So I waited till she went out with her friends, and then I sneaked into her room. I wasn't surprised when I found it under her bed next to her headphone. I decided to take that too. That's when I discovered my love for music. Whenever I was upset and wanted to escape my family, I would go into my room and listen to songs on the iPod. I would sing along, and it would really calm me down. One day in the cafeteria, I was walking to a table when Emily suddenly threw something on the floor. Before I could stop myself, I had stepped on a banana peel, and I slipped with my lunch flying everywhere. I heard someone say,
"What a clumsy fool."
I was so embarrassed, I just ran out of there. After that day, I started eating in the school library all by myself. One day, during lunch break, I was listening to music on my iPod as usual, and I started singing along when I heard a voice say,
"Oh my, you have such an angelic voice."
I turned around to see it was the school librarian, Mrs. Shepherd. She looked really impressed, but I didn't believe her. "Thank you, but I don't think there's anything special about my voice." She told me to sing it again, and this time, she recorded it on her phone. I'd never thought about that. She played it back, and I heard the most beautiful tone. At that moment, I realized I'd discovered my gift. I was so ecstatic, I hugged her and said, "Thank you so much, so much. I've wanted to have something special my whole life, and you've made me realize what it is." I rushed home to tell my family about my singing ability. They just stared at me for a moment, and then burst out laughing.
What an attention seeker you are, Betty. Just stop making stuff up. You're never going to be anyone special.
After the jewelry incident, I hadn't been able to forgive Dad for not believing me and treating me badly. And he was just doing it again. I wanted to hurt him as much as he had hurt me, so I decided to call his company and accuse him of theft. Dad worked as an account manager for a business firm, and I wasn't exactly sure if he had stole from the company. But someone as horrible as him must be shady, and I wanted him investigated. At the end of my junior year, I was singing in my room when my sister screamed from her room,
"Stop squawking like a bird."
I rolled my eyes and yelled, "You would know, since you screech like one." Just then, there was a knock at our main door. I ran to open it and found 2 male cops standing there. One of them asked,
"Is this the Blackwell residence?"
Everyone was in the hall by now, and the cops walked straight over to Dad and said he was under arrest for embezzlement. The company he worked for had discovered that he had been moving their money to an offshore account. Before the cops left, they asked me how I knew my dad was stealing money. I told them I had my suspicions. My family couldn't believe what they were hearing. Dad started screaming at me.
You ungrateful girl. You called the cops on me. I hate you.
I can't believe you. I should have listened to your father when he said we shouldn't keep you.
My sister could only scream and cry. I couldn't care less. After Dad was sentenced to jail, we became the talk of the town, and everyone looked at us with contempt. Mom decided to move us to a small town where we could start afresh. I was so excited because I didn't really have friends in school, because my sister had made everyone think I was a loser. The day we moved to our new house,
Don't get yourself too excited, young lady. You'll have to fend for yourself now. Now that you've sent your dad away, I'm no longer responsible for you. You should be grateful I haven't disowned you.
I rolled my eyes. I don't expect anything less. The next day, I started looking for a job, and I eventually found one in a small antique store as a salesperson. When I was walking back home, I heard someone singing, and I traced the voice to a guy in the park. He sounded beautiful. I sat next to him on the bench and started singing along. He seemed startled, but didn't stop. And before I knew it, we'd gathered a crowd. Surprisingly, that became the beginning of my music career. After the performance, the guy introduced himself.
My name is Zach. You have a really nice voice. I've never drawn as big a crowd as you did today.
I was so flattered, I could only smile. That night, I went home with a skip in my step. Mom noticed my smiley face and asked if I'd gotten a job. I couldn't help spilling out the reason for my excitement, but Mom just rolled her eyes, and Emily nastily said,
"The townspeople must be deaf, and I'm sure this Zach guy is better than you."
"You're just jealous because I have talent, and you can't sing a note to save your life." She looked like she wanted to strike me dead. The next day, as I was working at the antique store, I started singing when I thought I was all alone. Just then, the owner came out of the back room.
You have a great singing voice. You should meet my son. He loves to sing too.
I was surprised to hear that, but I said I would love to meet him. He called his son, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw Zach. We both laughed, then told his dad how we had already met once before. And every evening since that day, we would go to the park and sing. We started making good money, and the townspeople were so friendly and kind to me. Zach welcomed me into their home, and his family became my family. During my senior year at school, I decided to participate in the annual talent show. I was dressing up at home for my performance when my sister locked me in the room. I screamed and banged on the door. "Open this door right now!" She didn't reply. I kept banging on the door. "I will be late for the show, you moron!"
Give me money and I'll open the door.
She was unbelievable. "You dumb fool! It's not my fault you're so spoiled you can't work to earn your own money." I became frustrated and threw my chair at the door. She wanted the money I'd been saving to go to college. I vowed I wouldn't ever share anything with her, even if we were the last two humans on Earth. I finally escaped through the window without injuries, and I made it to school just in time. I performed really well, and at the end of the show, an elegant, well-dressed woman walked up to me and said,
You have a great gift. The world needs to know about it.
She gave me a card and told me she would love to offer me a music scholarship. Turned out she was one of the directors at Juilliard, who and was invited by Zach's dad to watch my performance. It was such an amazing surprise. That day was joyous, and the whole town was thrilled for me. Well, everyone except my family, and I don't care about them.
After 10 years of trying to get pregnant, the woman finally got the great news. But her happiness was short-lived. The doctor looked straight into her eyes and said,
Ma'am, your baby has Down syndrome.
Months later, she delivered the baby, and it was me, born completely normal and 100% healthy. Everyone said it was a miracle, and that's what my name means. Hi, I'm Nasa from Alabama. But before I continue my amazing story, click like and subscribe. My dad had a mechanics workshop, and I hardly saw him because he worked so much all the time. Even though Mom came from a rich background, she never helped Dad with money.
Isn't that God's will? A man has to sweat and earn his bread and provide for his family. If you want to eat, you better put food on the table.
Once when I was 3, Mom and I visited him at the workshop. He was fixing a car and asking me to hand him the plier. I didn't know what it was, so I just picked up the entire toolbox and put it in front of him. He was shocked.
How did you do that, Nasa?
Just like that, Daddy. It's easy.
Oh my God, you're so strong. Oh, my daughter. No, it's like you're my son.
Why are you looking so happy, idiot? I don't want a manly daughter. Girls aren't supposed to be delicate. This is what I get. After 10 years of waiting, I'm taking her to the doctor.
The doctor said I was exceptionally strong because my muscle strength and testosterone levels were higher than most girls. But Mom just kept calling me a freak. She decided to leave me with Dad every day at work to help him make more money. 2 years later, Mom gave birth to my little sister, Ella. But she was born with the Down syndrome the doctors had predicted for me. The minute we saw Ella, Dad and I were in love with her. And we made sure she didn't feel different growing up. But Mom just couldn't stop complaining about us.
Why is God so mad at me? First, you came out really weird, and now Ella. I must have done something terrible in my life that I'm getting punished for.
She was trying to feed Ella as she whined nonstop. And suddenly, Ella spat out all the food on her face. Gosh, I loved that kid. Mom also didn't allow us to watch YouTube videos because she said it was a sin to do anything fun. She blocked YouTube. But I found an amazing app that can solve it. I took Ella to my room, and we watched videos all night long. One day, when I was at Dad's workshop, a bus suddenly stopped in front of us, and a man jumped off.
Oh my God, girl! Are you for real? You just lifted those big tires all by yourself? I'm already seeing you as an Olympic weightlifting champion.
The man introduced himself as a sports coach and asked me to join his school in California. He also gave Dad his card and said he'd be waiting for us to tell him when we could leave. Dad was so excited for me, and I felt like I'd just won the lottery. But when I told Mom, she flipped out.
Are you crazy? I'm not trusting a stranger and leaving the place and the wealth God's given me here. No one is going anywhere.
I was super bummed at Mom's reaction, but then little Ella came up to me with a solution.
What if Mom has nothing? Let's throw all her money away.
OMG! OMG, Ella, you're a genius! Yes, let's donate Mom's money to charity. I found a charity organization and filled out all the forms online. But suddenly, I started to lose my nerve. Maybe this isn't such a good idea, Ella. I don't think we should do this.
Yes, we should.
With that, she clicked on enter, and in a second, Mom lost all her money. Even Dad's workshop was in her name, and it was gone. She threw the biggest tantrum ever and even threatened the organization to return her money. But they refused, and there was nothing she could do about it. Angry and frustrated, she finally agreed to the last option, going to Cali. And she never knew it was us. When we got there, the coach showed us a small house for rent. He also assured us that he'd get special scholarships for Ella and me, and we'd be going to the same school.
How can you be happy about this, Nasa? You know how Ella is. What am I supposed to do? Go to school with her and guard her from the bullies?
You don't need to do that, Mom. I'll handle it. She's mine. On the first day of school, I dropped Ella in her classroom. When I entered mine, I saw no teacher there, but a girl was catwalking in front of everyone. As I tried to slide past her, she stepped on my foot with her pointed heels. I yelped in pain, but she started yelling at me instead of saying, sorry.
You idiot! Why did you bomb my show? I was rehearsing for the beauty pageant contest.
Oh, your show. I thought this was a classroom, not a stage.
Well, you thought wrong. I'm the queen of the school, and I make the rules. And I say the whole world's my stage.
Wow, she seemed crazy and really full of herself. Later that day, Ella and I were eating lunch in the cafeteria when Auntie came over and said we were sitting at her table. Just then, she saw Ella and she started laughing.
Oh, you didn't say you have a sister? Well, I can see why. I mean, you must be so embarrassed by her.
Shut up, Auntie. You're just embarrassing yourself.
You can't talk to me like that. I told you, I'm the queen here, the hottest girl in school.
Why do you have a fever?
I think she does. Ella, let's help her feel better. And with that, I threw a glass of ice-cold water in her face. The whole cafeteria burst into laughter, while Auntie screamed and stormed off. So many people thought Ella was adorable and wanted to be friends with her. Meanwhile, I also started weightlifting practice, and the coach was stunned to see me lifting heavier weights than the boys on the team. One day when I came out of the gym, I saw Ella standing with a sad face outside the dance room. I asked her what had happened, and she cried out,
I don't want to be here. These girls are mean. They don't want me on the team.
I barged into the dance room, and I wasn't surprised to see Auntie there. Hey, why did you tell my sister she can't be on the dance team? What's wrong with her?
What's wrong? Are you blind? It's obvious she can't do fast moves with us, and we don't have forever to teach her. Now be off with your DD dumb sister.
I totally lost it. I walked over to their sound system, pushed over the big speakers, and wrenched out all the wires. As Ella and I walked out, she turned around and locked the door from the outside. That was an awesome moment. But we got caught and ended up in detention. And Mom went nuts when she found out.
God, I knew this would happen. Ella is not like everyone, and she can't be with everyone. You were unkind to that girl, and that makes you two sinners. I'm going to go pray now. I don't want to go to hell with you.
Our daughters are not unkind. I'm sure there was a good reason.
But before he could finish, Mom just pushed him aside and stormed off. Mom is just terrible. The next day at school, I looked for Ella during recess and I couldn't find her anywhere. I was running all over the place, feeling panic rise inside. Where could she be? Just then, I spotted a grand piano in the corridor, blocking the janitor's closet. As I stepped closer, I heard Ella crying out for help. Oh my God! Ella, I'm here! I'll get you out, sweetie! With one big push, I swept the piano out of the way and opened the door. Poor Ella came tumbling out in my arms, crying like crazy.
Auntie told me to go inside.
I was gonna destroy that witch. I stormed off to the dance room with Ella, and before I could get to Auntie, Ella ran straight at her, pushing her aside. They both landed on the floor, and just then, a beam fell off the roof exactly where Auntie was standing seconds ago. Oh my God, Ella had just saved Auntie.
I saw it was falling, so I...
How dare you touch me, you moron! I don't want your disease rubbing off on me!
That was the last straw. I walked up to Auntie and gave her a hard slap. You're a heartless bully, Ancy. You think she's weaker than you, so you pick on her. But here, she is saving your stupid butt after everything you've done. She's got more heart and strength than you ever will. And you could learn a thing or two from her. We all could. Because Ella is freaking amazing. Just then, I turned to see lots of kids had followed us into the dance room, and they were all clapping and cheering for Ella. Everyone started to boo Ancy, and she ran off crying. When we got home, I couldn't wait to tell our parents what a hero Ella had been. But we found the two fighting loudly.
I'm not putting up with your embarrassing daughters anymore. My church friends say they are weirdos. Do you know how that makes me feel? I'll stay only if we give them up for adoption. Decide.
That is the easiest decision I've ever had to make. You're a selfish, horrible woman, and you don't know how to love anyone. So please, for the love of God, get out.
Wow! Dad finally spoke up. Mom shouted and cried, but Dad just threw her bags out on the street, and our lives at home became so much happier. The next day when we were leaving school, Ancy suddenly leapt out from behind a tree and spat at Ella. I was about to attack her when suddenly a well-dressed man stepped in and grabbed Ancy's arm.
What did I just see? Ancy, I can't believe it! How could you be so cruel to this child? You're grounded for a very long time, and you're off the dance team.
Dad, you can't do that!
Keep talking, and I'll ask the principal to expel you myself. Apologize now.
Well, the queen bee finally bowed her head. Also, it turned out that Nancy's dad was a big-shot doctor, and he offered to take over all of Ella's medical bills and help out with any therapy she needed. When Mom heard that Ella wouldn't be expensive now, she contacted us by saying that she was sorry, and she always knew we were special. But we told her to leave us alone. After a year of training, the coach said it was my time to shine. He entered me into many weightlifting competitions, and my medal collection has just begun. And I always have my biggest supporter cheering me on.
Hi, I'm Alicia, and I'm about to tell you how I met the love of my life. But before we get into that, please like and subscribe. If there's one thing you have to know about me, it's that I wasn't an ordinary little girl. Being raised by a single father who was an ex-army officer does that to you. I had rules, discipline, and responsibility drilled into me since I was very young. And growing up, I found other kids my age really immature.
I don't know why he'd break up with me. I wore the clothes he liked, woke up at 5 every morning to do my hair because he liked them curly, and pretended to love watching wrestling.
Excuse me, but I need to get that muffin.
Can't you see that I'm crying? My boyfriend just broke up with me.
I'm so sorry. You know, it reminds me of the time my dad took me for this obstacle course, and I twisted my ankle so badly. The doctors told me I'd never be able to walk again, but I didn't lose hope. And here I am.
How is that the same thing?
It's not because that was an actual problem, but yours is just a bunch of high school nonsense. Now move your butt, please. Needless to say, I didn't have a lot of friends, and I didn't care either. My life was all sorted out. Graduate school, get into a good college, work and retire. But then I turned 18 and met Arthur. He was a transfer student from Greece, and boy, was he dreamy. The first time I met him was in gym class. We were playing basketball, and I was so lost in looking at him. I totally missed the ball, and it hit me right in the face. I fell on my butt, and Arthur came running.
Are you okay? You're bleeding.
It's nothing. I'm used to much worse. On second thoughts, I might need a doctor. Arthur smiled and carried me to the nurse's office. The entire time I was there, he sat next to me, and later, he dropped me home. We became friends after that, and slowly, I fell for him. He was smart, mature, and sweet. If there was one guy I wanted to date, it was him. So I decided to ask him out, except I didn't know how. So I turned to YouTube for help, and it did not disappoint. Rule number 1, never let your crush know you're interested in him. Avoid eye contact and do not speak at all. The next day, when Arthur waved at me in the hallway, I wrinkled my nose and turned away. He sat next to me in class, but I didn't pay any attention. But then in the cafeteria, he caught up with me.
Are you avoiding me?
Me avoiding you? Oh, don't be silly. I was just really busy thinking about global warming and how it's impacting the fish population. Oh, that reminds me. I have to water my fish. My plants. I'll see you around. And I just ran before I embarrassed myself further. After that epic failure, I turned to step number 2. Dress up nice and behave like a total diva. And the next morning, it took me 2 hours to get ready. I thought I looked great. Except the moment I entered, everyone started pointing at me and laughing.
Oh my god! Why is she dressed like a peacock?
What is that on her face? Did someone finally punch her for being a know-it-all?
I was so embarrassed, I immediately turned around and ran for the bleachers. I was still sulking when Arthur walked up to me.
If you rub your lips anymore, they're gonna fall off.
This lipstick won't come off. Ugh, it's so annoying.
Let me help you. Also, I'm not saying you don't look good with makeup, but you actually look way prettier without it.
Really? Does that mean you'll go out with me?
Are you serious? I wanted to ask you out for the longest time, but everyone in school told me you're a cold-hearted witch. Cold-hearted girl who hates people.
That's not true. I hate dumb people, there's a difference. So you and I dinner tomorrow?
I'd love to.
My first date with Arthur was perfect, and he told me that his parents were divorced like mine, and he lived with his mom and 9-year-old brother Charlie. We started dating soon after and spent all our time together. People in school were also nicer to me since I was Arthur's girlfriend, and even Dad liked him a lot. Life was just better with him in until things started getting weird. Some days he would come to school looking like a half-dead zombie, and other days he would skip school altogether. His grades were slipping. We were barely seeing each other, and I knew something was wrong. So one day, when he canceled our date, I went to his place with his favorite ice cream. But when I knocked on the door, some kid opened up. Hi, you must be Charlie. Is your brother around?
Is that ice cream? Gimme it.
Hey, that's not very nice. Say, ma'am, could I please have that tub of ice cream repeat after me?
Sure. Ahem. Ma'am, give me the ice cream or I'll kick you.
And Charlie kicked me on my shin, snatched the tub, and ran away. As I yelled out in pain, Arthur came running downstairs.
Alicia, why didn't you tell me you were coming?
When would I tell you? You hardly talk to me these days.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just that Mom's getting married again. The guy doesn't want Charlie in his life, and Mom loves her stupid boyfriend so much that she decided to move out, leaving me in charge.
Why wouldn't you tell me that before?
Because it's embarrassing and I didn't want to drag you in my mess.
I'm already a part of your mess and we'll get through it together. Okay, I know that was a bit cheesy, but Arthur looked like he was gonna break in a million pieces, and I really wanted to help him. Besides, how bad could a 9-year-old be? Turns out, a lot! Because Charlie was a total devil. He would cry over the smallest things, throw tantrums if he didn't get his way, and would constantly butt into my dates with Arthur. We hardly spent any time alone. I was pretty sure he just hated me. Like, one time, I was waiting for Arthur in his living room, and Charlie kept giving me death stares. Something on my face?
I was just trying to figure out how someone can look like a horse and a camel at the same time.
That's kind of mean, Charlie.
And you're kinda ugly. Anyway, have fun on the date. It won't last long.
And 10 minutes into the date, Arthur got a call from the babysitter that Charlie had locked himself in the washroom, and we had to run back. Then another time, it was Dad's birthday, and I had planned a really cool surprise for him. I'd invited all his old friends from the army. Arthur helped me deck up the place, and I was arranging the cake when Charlie walked up to me.
Oh wow, this cake looks yummy. Give me a piece.
Only after my dad cuts it.
But I'm hungry now.
Then eat something else. There's a whole pizza on the counter.
Are you stupid? I said I want the cake.
Charlie tried to get the cake, but I got in his way. He shoved me away, and I accidentally knocked into the cake, which crashed to the floor.
Whoopsie, guess no one gets to eat it.
What happened? I heard some noise.
Your brother ruined my surprise.
I just asked her to give me some cake.
And I asked you to wait.
Relax, Alicia. We'll get a new cake. I'm sure your dad won't know.
That's not the point, Arthur. Your brother is a spoiled brat. He needs some discipline. You put that kid on a leash or I swear I will.
He's my brother, not some dog I can put a leash on. I know he made a mistake, but he's just a kid, you know what? We'll just leave. We wouldn't want to ruin your evening any more than we have.
Perfect! Arthur took Charlie's hand, and they left. I wanted to stop them, but I was too mad. Later that night, when I calmed down, I realized I might have been too rude and called Arthur up, but he didn't answer. He didn't even show up to school the next day, and neither did Charlie. So I went to his place to talk to him and saw Charlie crying on the porch. What's wrong?
Arthur wasn't here when I woke up this morning, and I don't know where he went.
Did you call him?
He left his phone behind.
Then why didn't you answer when I called? Anyway, don't worry, we'll find him. But till then, you're coming home with me.
No, I don't like you.
You don't have to like me, but I'm not leaving you alone till Arthur gets back.
Ugh, so annoying.
We waited the whole day for Arthur to show up or get in touch, but he didn't. By nightfall, I decided to sleep in the lounge and offered Charlie my room. If you need anything. The next morning, Arthur was still a no-show. I couldn't reach his mom either, and then remembered he told me she was out of the country on her honeymoon. Next, I asked his friends and colleagues, but none of them knew where he was. Eventually, I contacted the police, but even a week later, they had no news of him, and I was worried sick. What could have possibly happened to him? Meanwhile, Charlie refused to go to school or shower. He mostly kept himself locked in my room and reacted rudely to any nice gesture I made. I was losing my mind. So I turned to Dad for help, and he promised he'd get a word out to his colleagues in the army to track Arthur down. I still don't know what to do with Charlie. He shuts me down every time I try to talk to him.
He's been through a lot, Alicia. What he needs is some distraction to keep his mind off things. After your mom left, you were all over the place. That's why I built such a strict routine for you, so you wouldn't have time to think about her. Maybe you should do something similar.
I decided to give Dad's advice a shot, and the next morning, I walked to Charlie's room and woke him up. Get up! We're going out!
Is Arthur back?
No.
Then let me sleep and go away.
Nope, you're getting up right now. Charlie resisted, but I dragged him out of bed, and somehow we made it to the bus stop. He kept cursing me the whole way, but I didn't care. And minutes later, we were at our destination, the paintball arena.
I'm not going in there.
Why? Too chicken to lose?
As if you're on.
Charlie and I had a great time at the paintball game, and it was the first time I actually heard him laugh. Afterwards, we went to a trampoline park and jumped our hearts out. By the end, he was so tired he could barely walk. So I called a cab and took him to my favorite burger joint. But he just stood at the entrance and stared. What? You don't like burgers?
No, it's just that this was my favorite place to come with my mom. Every weekend we come here and play our favorite songs at the jukebox machine. And now she doesn't even call me, and Arthur's left me too.
Arthur will be back in no time, I promise you. He loves you a lot, Charlie, and no matter what, we'll always be here for you.
You too?
Yes, me too! Charlie cried and hugged me tight. For the first time, I saw him as a heartbroken kid who just wanted his family back. Since then, Charlie warmed up to me. We'd have breakfast together, and he would always make my bed when I got home from school. He was a lot calmer and hardly threw a tantrum. I couldn't wait for Arthur to come back and see how much progress Charlie had made, but we still had no leads on him. I wanted to be strong, but with each passing day, my hopes of ever seeing him again were getting dimmer. And it broke my heart. Finally, one night, I broke down in front of Dad. I don't think Arthur is coming back, Dad. It's been weeks and no one knows where he is. If he was in town, we would have found him by now. And Charlie? He's lost his mom and might lose his brother too. What can I even say to him?
What?
I turned around and saw Charlie standing at the door.
You've been telling me all along the police will find him. You said you were sure.
No, I'm sure. He's fine. Charlie, I was just...
Stop lying. Why do all grown-ups lie so much? I hate you. All of you.
And Charlie just ran out of the house. Dad said he'd go after him. And as I was sitting in the kitchen, in despair, the phone suddenly rang. It was the police, saying they'd found Arthur in a hospital close to town. I rushed the location and texted Dad on the way. The doctors at the hospital told me that Arthur was brought in a few days back by the forest rangers. Apparently, he went on a hike and got injured. And since then, he'd been in a coma. I was sitting next to him when Charlie walked in with Dad.
How is he?
He hit his head, but he's out of danger. Doctors say there's a very good chance he'll be just fine. Charlie, promise me, no matter what happens, you and I will never fight again.
I promise I will never scream again, and I will always be a good brother. He will wake up, right?
What do you think?
Hi, friends! My name is Celine, And my mom is my best friend. She was a small businesswoman, but after she divorced my dad, her luck turned around and she made it big. Mom adored me. By the time I was 7, I was living the life of a Malibu Barbie. She got me everything I wanted. She threw a birthday bash for me that had ponies and hot air balloons in it. My friends were shocked. Once, when I was in 2nd grade, I had a fight with my annoying classmate, and Mom was called to the school to meet the teacher who I hated.
Celine needs some discipline. Just look at what she did to her classmate. Maybe she needs a father to teach her some manners. Get her one.
My mom suddenly went ballistic and pushed the teacher away.
Are you a moron? My daughter doesn't need a father. She has me and I can take care of her. You say nonsense like that again and I'll have you fired.
I was so proud of my mom as she took my hand and stormed off. By the time I was in 4th grade, my mom was my best friend. I used to tell her every single freaking thing that happened to me. But once I made a mistake. I told her how I'd seen my friend Jessica take the teacher's watch and put it in her bag. And a few days later, I invited my friends to my house. When we were all having lunch, I heard a loud scream from my room. We all ran there to find Mom holding Jessica's hand.
You can't fool me, kid. I know you stole your teacher's stuff and now you're snooping in my daughter's room.
Oh my God! Jessica was shaking and in tears. Mom, she had to go to the bathroom. I told her to go to my room. When my friends left, I was so angry at Mom. I told her I won't be telling her anything from now on. Even though she apologized, I ran to my room and slammed the door shut. The next day at school, my friends started avoiding me like I was some weirdo. And this mean Jessica said,
"No, you can't sit with us because you tell all our secrets to your mom. Why are you like that, dumbhead?"
I started eating alone, but one day, something amazing happened. A girl came and sat next to me at lunch. Her name was Ashley, and she was new in the school. Soon we became friends, and it was so good having someone to talk to. A few days later, I saw Jessica wearing my bracelet that Mom had specially gotten made for me. Hey, that's mine! That bracelet has my name on the back. You're such a thief! I grabbed her wrist to take it away, but Jessica pushed me hard and pounced on me. Just then, Ashley came running and snatched the bracelet from her. We reported her to the principal, and she took a look into Jessica's locker. She was stunned to see so many stolen items. Jessica was suspended for 2 weeks, and I felt so foolish. Mom had been right about Jessica all along. When I went home, I apologized to Mom, and she hugged me tight. By the time we were in 10th grade, Ashley and I were best friends. Once, she was at my place, and we were discussing my new crush, Adam. When Mom walked in, I was so excited to tell her too. I showed her all his pictures.
I can't believe you just told your mom about your crush. I would never tell my mom such a thing.
A few days later, Mom came to school, and she spotted Adam with some boys. And then, she said the most embarrassing thing ever.
Oh, you're Adam, right? This is Celine, and she's my daughter.
Oh yeah, that weirdo.
What did you just call her?
A weirdo. And I think she's also dumb.
Oh my God, you're such a rude kid. I can't believe she has a crush on you. And she even looks at your pictures all day. For what? You're a jerk. I can tell.
Everybody, including Adam, looked at me like I was some psycho stalker. I grabbed Mom's arm and tried to drag her away.
Oh, so Celine is crazy just like her mom.
Just let me teach this loser a lesson.
Mom tried to attack him, but thankfully, I was able to drag her away. At home, I had a huge fight with Mom about it.
I did the right thing, Celine.
The only thing you did was ruin my life. Mom asked for forgiveness, and I knew Mom meant well. So after a few hours, I forgave her and we hugged. But not for long. A couple of months later, we were having a Mother's Day event at our school. And when it was time for Ashley to give her mom the gift in front of everyone, Mom rushed to Ashley's mom and handed her a bag. She had gotten a matching outfit for her and Ashley.
I was so sorry to hear from Celine about your money problems and the divorce. You must be going through a really hard time right now. That's why I bought the nicest dresses for you and Ashley.
Oh my God! How could she blurt that secret out in front of everybody? Ashley and her mom were stunned. So were all the people in the classroom. Suddenly, Ashley was furious. She attacked me and held my hair tight in her grip.
How could you tell your mom about it?
You know she can't keep a secret. Why did I ever trust you?
Even Ashley's mom was furious, and she screamed at Mom, calling her bad names. And that day, I lost my best friend. She just refused to talk to me. And a week later, she and her mom moved away without even saying goodbye. I was heartbroken, and my relationship with my mom was never the same.
Celine, please forgive me. It was an honest mistake.
Mom, enough is enough. You betrayed my trust and hurt other people. You can't just say it's a mistake every time. I can't do this anymore. I moved out of the mansion when I turned 18 and got admission in university. I got busy with studies, and Mom and I spoke less and less frequently. Luckily for me, I found love and got married. After graduating, I was living a happy life with my husband Andrew. I opened up an art gallery with Andrew, and the exhibitions I held were famous all over town. After 2 years, we were blessed with a little baby girl. We named her Crystal. She had a star-shaped birthmark in her hand. She was my world. One day, when I returned from work, I saw Andrew park up his new Porsche. I was stunned. Sure, we both earned well, but not that well. Something was off about Andrew. I walked into his new home office and heard him talk to some girl.
Oh, babe, I love you too. You think I'm in love with her? I am living with her only for the money.
I went berserk on Andrew. I made him tell me the truth the way he did. My mom had been sending him money, and that's why he was with me, while he loved someone else. First, I kicked Andrew out of the house. I was done with him. Then I called up Mom. Why can't you just stop interfering with my life? Why did you give money to Andrew?
But honey, Andrew asked me for money. He said he would leave you if I didn't give him the money.
You knew he didn't love me, and you didn't tell me? Mom, that's awful. You think giving him money was right? I told her never to send money again, and hung up. I just wanted to focus on raising Crystal now that life was set. Crystal and I became best friends. When she was 4, I took her to Disneyland, and we had a blast. I even got a star tattoo on my hand, just like Crystal's birthmark.
Mommy, we have the same mark now. I love you.
After a few days, it was time to go home. When our plane landed, we needed to take the train to get home. As I was buying tickets, I suddenly turned around and saw Crystal wasn't there. I went crazy. I searched for my baby girl all over the station, but I didn't find her. People started to help me look for her, and soon the cops arrived on the scene too. I just sat down on a bench crying with shock. I couldn't believe that my daughter was missing. I took my phone out and called the only person I could think of. I need you to come immediately, Mom. The minute she arrived, I broke down in tears and hugged her tight. I'm so sorry, Mom. Now I realize the pain of being away from your child. I am so sorry.
Hush, Celine. You have nothing to be sorry about. Don't worry, love. We will find my granddaughter.
But days turned into weeks, and my baby girl was nowhere to be found. It had been many months since Crystal was missing, when a familiar-looking woman named visited me at home. And when our eyes met, we were both shocked. Ashley, is that you?
Oh my God. Celine, I'm the detective handling your daughter's case.
We hugged each other tight as we both started to cry.
Don't worry, we will get her back. I promise.
For 5 years, we searched for Crystal day and night. Everywhere I went, I would see my daughter. One day, I was walking towards the police station where Ashley worked when suddenly I heard a voice so sweet that it shook me.
Hey, Mom, wait up. I'm coming.
I turned around and saw a girl who looked so much like Crystal. Oh my God! It was my baby girl all grown up. Without a second thought, I ran to the girl and took her arm. And she started screaming.
Mom, Dad, help!
Sweetie, just let me look at your hand. Turned out it was not Crystal. And her parents furiously took her away, and I was heartbroken all over again. I was almost beginning to lose hope. I met Mom at the park that night and cried on her chest. Mom, it hurts. Mom, it's burning. I miss my baby. I'm so sorry for treating you badly. You were my best friend. I now understand how much I hurt you. Mom, I just want my baby back.
Mom!
I couldn't believe what I just heard. I looked around to see Ashley, and next to her was a 9 or 10-year-old girl looking confused. The moment I saw her, I knew it was my Crystal. I ran to hug her, but the girl took some steps back.
Mom had a tattoo like mine in her hand. Show it to me if you are my mom.
I showed her the star tattoo, and she gave me a huge smile and flung herself in my arms.
Mom, I missed you so much. Why did you leave me? You don't love me?
Oh, baby girl, I love you so much and I look so hard for you. I missed you! I missed you! Ashley told me that my baby had gone on a train to another city where a couple had found her wandering alone and crying, and they'd taken her in. Since then, they had been trying to search for her family. I pulled Mom to join our hug, and also Ashley. I love you guys so much. All my best friends are back now. I love you, Crystal.
I love you too, Mommy.
Hi, I'm Soleil from Monterey Bay, and my life was a nightmare until I turned 15. Before I continue, please like and subscribe to Fareeb. I was born with a condition called macrodontia that meant my teeth were much larger than normal size. It wasn't a big deal, but people were giving me a hard time for it. Like one time in 4th grade, I was waiting in line for picture day when my teacher, Mrs. Smith, pulled me aside.
Sweetie, I need you to keep your mouth closed for the picture. No smiling, okay?
You don't want me showing my teeth, do you?
It's just that you're such a pretty girl, and your teeth just may be a bit distracting for the picture.
It's not my fault you think my teeth are distracting. I have a condition, you witch. Maybe I shouldn't have called Mrs. Smith a witch. It landed me in double detention. But luckily, I told my parents everything that had happened, and they were furious. They got my teacher fired for discrimination against a kid, and I felt pretty pleased with myself. Though unfortunately, kids at school started making fun of my teeth after the picture day incident. I ignored them most of the time, but sometimes I just wanted to slap their dumb faces. The only thing that helped me through the day was singing after school in my room. It was my dream to become a singer, but I was way too shy to sing in public. Then one day, everything changed when a new girl came to our class. Her name was Lydia, and she was a famous child actress. I'd loved her movies ever since kindergarten. She was literally my idol. We were even paired as lab partners and instantly became friends. I told Lydia all about the bullying and my witch teacher, Mrs. Smith, and she was so sweet.
Those people are dumb. You're perfect just the way you are. Just stick by my side, and none of the bullies will ever bother you again.
Soon, I found out Lydia was right. Whenever I was with her, the kids left me alone. I was untouchable. By the time Lydia and I were in 8th grade, we'd become besties. But when we got to high school, things got a little crazy. On our first day, kids started staring and whispering at us in the hallway. Within seconds, everyone pushed past me so they could take selfies with Lydia and ask for her autograph. This went on all morning, and by lunchtime, I decided to study in the library for some peace and quiet. Then suddenly, as I was walking to a table, I tripped over someone's shoe from behind. We both fell forward, and I landed on top of some girl.
Get off me, you jerk!
Geez, I'm sorry, it was an accident.
Please! I know who you are. You're the new bodyguard of that teen actress Lydia. You think you're so important that you don't have to look where you're going.
First of all, I don't think that at all. And second, I'm not Lydia's bodyguard. I'm her best friend.
Haha! Well, she's telling everyone you're her new bodyguard. If I were you, I'd find out what that's about.
The girl got up and stormed off. What was she talking about? I found out later the girl's name was Kara, and everyone was super creeped out by her. Part of it was because she wore black lipstick and dyed her hair white. The other reason was because she just sat in the library all day and never talked to anyone. So I probably shouldn't take anything she said seriously, right? But her comment about me being Lydia's bodyguard was just so weird. So I decided to confront Lydia about it, and when I did, she got really quiet.
I have to tell you something. I have a stalker. He's some obsessed fan who's been sending me weird letters that he's gonna kidnap me and we're gonna get married. Ugh, I don't even want to talk about it. I just really need a bodyguard.
Whoa, I had no idea. But wouldn't it be better if you hired some big tough adult? I mean, I can't fight a weirdo stalker.
Soleil, you're my best friend. You're the only person I trust. I don't want some stranger following me around 24/7. Please, I need you to do this for me.
Okay, don't worry. I want you to be safe. So I'll be your bodyguard. Lydia was really relieved, and I was glad I could protect her. But soon I discovered being her bodyguard was a living hell. Not only did I have to follow Lydia everywhere, I had to show away everyone who tried to talk to her. Lydia just didn't trust anyone, but her fans blamed me for it.
I just wanted to know where Lydia bought her bracelet. I'm not trying to hurt her, you jerk.
Then one day, things got really out of hand. I was walking Lydia down the hall when this muscular jock tried to shove me.
Out of my way! Buck teeth! I want to talk to our local movie star, aka my future girlfriend.
Lydia just looked at her phone, and I knew that meant she wasn't interested and didn't want to deal with him. Sorry, dude, but Lydia doesn't want to talk to you. And as her bodyguard, I'll have to ask you to leave. At that second, the guy grabbed my shoulder and I had no idea what he was gonna do. I turned to Lydia for help, but I didn't see her anywhere. Instead, some girl pinned the guy's arms behind his back. It was Kara!
Leave her alone, psycho! My mom's a cop and can have you locked up so you never see the light of day again.
Kara let the guy go and he ran off. I was amazed that she, of all people, had defended me. Wow, Kara, I can't thank you enough for protecting me. I was so scared.
Don't get used to it. I just felt bad for you because you're the bodyguard of that stuck-up princess. Notice how she just walked off while you almost got beaten up?
Kara walked off, and I realized her words made sense. Lydia had abandoned me, and worse. When I kept calling and texting her, she didn't answer. The same day at school, I saw Kara walking into the auditorium, which was empty. This girl was so mysterious. I followed her inside, and seeing her, my jaw dropped. She was playing the piano, and she was incredible. Holy croosh! You're a pianist. I didn't mean to sneak up on you. Please don't punch me. But you're really good, dude.
Oh, you again! Yeah, I play the piano, but I'm not that good. I mean, I kinda am, but I could never play in front of other people.
I totally get what you're saying. I've always wanted to be a singer, but I've never had the guts to sing in front of anyone.
So, why not sing something now? Come on! No one's here and you've heard me play piano. It's only fair.
I took a deep breath and started to sing something. And for the first time, I saw Kara smile.
You're not bad at all, Soleil. You should try out for the spring showcase. If you do, maybe I'll accompany you.
I felt my heart race. Was she serious? At that second, my phone rang and it was Lydia. Girl, where have you been? I've been calling you all day.
I am so sorry, but you have to come to the school parking lot. My stalker just showed up.
Oh no! I panicked and hung up the phone. Then I ran out of the auditorium, totally forgetting about Kara. When I got to the parking lot, I stopped short when I saw Lydia kissing some guy. Lydia, what's going on? Where's the stalker?
Oh, this is him. I decided in the end. I like him and he's cute.
What? Why would you like someone who stalked you and made you feel unsafe?
He didn't stalk me. He's just some guy who hit on me at the mall, and I wasn't interested, so I thought he might stalk me. But I took his number anyway, in case I wanted to give him a chance. And I did.
Are you kidding me? Do you know how exhausted I've been being your bodyguard? Some guy even grabbed me, and you left me to make out with some stranger.
Well, I thought if I told you the full truth, you wouldn't be my bodyguard. You have no idea what it's like to be me, having to talk to fans all the time, and being a celebrity. You've never even had a real friend before me. It's fine. It's just, you have no idea what I've gone through.
What the heck? I was too angry to even answer her, so I just stormed off. I couldn't believe Lydia. Maybe it was tough being a celebrity, but did she have any idea what I had gone through? Being bullied my whole life and never having friends. I decided then and there I was done living in Lydia's shadow. I was trying out with Kara for the Spring Showcase. It was my turn to shine. So the next day, I auditioned with Kara, and it went amazingly. The director was blown away by our talent, and I had no idea what I'd been so scared of. We were in. Craziest of all. All the other performers were chosen, and we got the last spot. But just as we were walking out of the auditorium, I saw Lydia sitting in the back row, and her face was white with rage.
How could you do that to me, Soleil? You knew I wanted to sing for the showcase. The directors aren't accepting any more performers now.
You never told me you were auditioning. You don't even sing.
Of course I sing. And no offense, but you're not meant to be a performer. You need a certain look, and you don't have it. I love you, but someone needs to break it to you.
I felt myself boil with rage. Who was she to say I couldn't be a performer because of my teeth? Then suddenly, Kara whipped out her phone and held it in front of Lydia's face. A video started playing of a girl screeching.
Remember at Grandpa's birthday party when we did karaoke and you sang like a dying cat? Well, I filmed the video, and if you try to get in our way of performing, I'll post it online.
You are so mean, Kara. And for your information, I sing way better now. And I'm not gonna let my bestie embarrass herself in front of everyone.
With that, Lydia stomped off and I was so confused. How did she and Kara know each other? And why did Kara say Grandpa?
In case you're wondering, Lydia and I are cousins. You guys may be friends, but I'm the only one who knows she's a two-faced witch.
What? You guys are cousins? No, wait. Look, I know Lydia can be a little selfish, but she's not a bad person. She totally saved my life in middle school. All the kids were teasing me because of my teeth, and she protected me. Lydia's the only one who's seen me for who I am as a person, and not what I look like.
Oh, babe, you are just too naive. Come with me, and I'll show you what kind of person Lydia really is.
Kara caught my full attention, and I followed her to Lydia's locker. I watched as Kara picked the lock and took out a worn-out journal.
This is Lydia's diary. I like reading it for my own personal entertainment. I swear, if people knew how evil she really is, she wouldn't be famous. Look at all this stuff she says about people.
I grabbed the diary from Kara, and to my horror, it was filled with nasty comments about every kid at school. And then I saw something that broke my heart. Lydia had cut out pictures of me and colored in my teeth with black marker on the page she'd written. I don't know how much longer I can pretend to be this freak's friend, but her loser status makes me feel so much better about myself. Before I could stop myself, I burst into tears. My whole friendship with Lydia had been a lie. Kara put her arm around me.
I know it sucks, but at least you know the kind of person she is now. I'll help you get revenge. We'll crush her at the showcase.
Thanks, Kara, but I think I just need to be alone right now. I went home and ditched the rest of my classes. I didn't come out of my bedroom for 2 days and refused to go to school. I was just so depressed and I felt like such an idiot. And then my mom came to my room with some news.
Soleil, I know you're suffering right now, but I wanted to tell you something that for sure will cheer you up.
What is it?
Your dad and I finally saved up the money to get braces. We can finally fix your teeth.
Why? Because I'm too ugly for you to look at?
Of course not, sweetie. This has nothing to do with looks. It's just better for your jaw. If we get this fixed, it'll be easier to brush your teeth and eat and take care of dental hygiene.
Mom made a pretty good point. So that week, I let her take me to the orthodontist and I got braces. They were super uncomfortable, but I felt better knowing I was finally going to take care of my teeth. Then finally, when I was back at school, I spotted Lydia. I hadn't seen her since I'd read her diary, and when she saw me with braces, she freaked.
OMG, are you crazy? I thought you were proud of how you looked. Yet you got braces, which means you obviously hate yourself.
No, I love myself. That's why I got braces for my health. Also, congratulations. You don't have to pretend to be my friend anymore. I made new friends. Way better friends. With that, I walked away before she could answer. Kara was waiting for me by my locker. I couldn't believe I'd misjudged her. Maybe she was a freak like me, but she was amazing. That evening, Kara and I had our show, and I was super nervous. We had to go back to school at 7 p.m. to get ready. When we got there, crowds of kids were already outside the building. That's when we saw a mob of kids in the courtyard gathered around Lydia, yelling at her. They were holding their phones in her face and saying things like two-faced and sicko. What was going on? That's when I saw Kara laughing in the corner.
I posted the pages of Lydia's diary all over Instagram. Now everyone knows all the awful things she wrote about them.
Whoa, Kara. I know she's a jerk, but isn't that kind of low?
Not as low as faking being your best friend for years, and everyone deserves to know the truth about her. Trust me, Soleil, I still felt a little weird about it.
But I knew deep down, Kara was right. As we walked on the stage later together, the audience cheered and whistled. Don't be afraid of the decisions you make. because life is all about making choices and learning from them.
When I was a child, I didn't know who my father was. My mother didn't seem to care much about me either. Not because she was busy, but because she was more interested in luxury items and dating other men. The things I enjoyed most back then were playing with the kids in my neighborhood and spending time with the only person who truly cared about me, my grandma. Like me, she wasn't too fond of my mom either. When I was 10, I watched my grandma chase my mom out of her huge mansion with a walking stick.
Get out of my house, you ungrateful woman. How could you steal from me? And don't you dare deny it. Melanie told me everything.
Oh, come on, Mother. Your wrinkled pencil legs would never do this dress justice. I'm just doing you a favor by taking it.
You shameless witch! I'm officially disinheriting you!
Fine. I don't need your riches anyway. With all this beauty, I'll marry a billionaire.
Clearly, my mom was Delulu. And over the years, her craziness only got worse. Like this one time when I was 17, the cutest guy in my class invited me to his birthday party, and Mom decided to gate crash. And you'll never guess why. Nathan is turning 18. Mom, you can't attend his party. You're like 40.
Shh. Don't you dare say my age out loud. And I'm not attending the party for Nathan.
Let me guess. You plan to introduce yourself to Nathan's dad, Mr. Donald.
Exactly. This is a perfect opportunity for me, Melanie. Mr. Donald is so rich. And his wife just died. Score.
I cannot believe you just said that.
And now, there's a little punishment for calling me old. Collect 3 eggs or stay home on Nathan's birthday.
What?
Here are 3 suggestions: catfish, monkey poop, and gold busker. You have 50 minutes.
The great yellow sun is reflecting in your deep blue eyes. The day has begun. You spin around, you laugh to yourself, and I see you shining.
Oh, wow. Good job, darling. You've got my permission. Just imagine it. I could be the next Mrs. Donald, and you better wear something nice and behave.
Don't worry, Mother. I'll be on my best behavior. I wouldn't want to ruin your social climbing plans. With that, I left her room with an evil smile. Before we continue with the story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for your continued support. Mom had no idea it was a costume party, and I had just the perfect costume. The next day, I waited for her to leave, and I crawled under my bed and took my costume out from its hiding place. I can't wait to see the look on Mom's face when she sees me. After spending hours perfecting my makeup, I wore my costume and rode my unicycle to Nathan's house. As soon as I walked in, I went straight to Mom, who was too busy drooling at Mr. Donald. Mom, do you like my nose? I got an extra one for you.
Someone get this crazy clown away from me.
Without warning, she grabbed a candle lighter from the party table and pointed it at me. Have you gone completely mad? Put that down.
All you do is make my life miserable.
Surely she wouldn't set me on fire, would she? Just then, Nathan, who was a Lion King costume, charged at Mom, and as they struggled, the lighter ended up in Mom's hair.
Oh my God, my hair is on fire.
Quickly, I grabbed a tablecloth, then covered her hair, but she shoved me and ran out of the party.
Well, this is definitely the craziest birthday party I've ever had.
I giggled like Nathan had told the funniest joke. And as if that wasn't embarrassing enough, I batted my clown eyelashes at him.
Are you having a seizure?
What? I was going for cute, but never mind. I have to go check on my mom. A few minutes later, I arrived at my house to find Mom throwing my clothes out on our lawn. Mom, what's going on? Needless to say, she wasn't looking her best. Some of her hair was burned and she smelled like a barbecue.
I want you out of my house. I'm tired of you ruining my life.
And that's how I ended up moving in with my grandma, who I loved very much. And together, we had lots of fun at her mansion. One morning, however, she woke up screaming, and when I went to check on her, she pointed her walking stick at me.
Stay away from me, you alien! You'll not take me into your alien ship.
Haha, you got me. I'm a creepy alien. I waited for her to laugh with me, but she cowered in a corner and burst into tears. Alarmed, I called her doctor, who diagnosed her with dementia. I had no choice. I had to call my mom. When she arrived at the mansion, she rushed towards Grandma.
Oh, you poor thing. You don't even remember me, do you? I'm Alberta, your favorite and only daughter. Don't worry, Mommy dearest. I'm going to take good care of you.
Ugh! I could already feel the scheming in Mom's voice. And sure enough, the next morning, she dropped a bombshell.
Melanie, I need you to open your grandma's safe. I know she gave you her passcode a long time ago.
Seriously? That's what you care about right now?
Open the safe or I'm placing you under house arrest.
Say what now?
You heard me. Just give me the passcode. The safe is probably empty anyway.
Actually, all of Grandma's jewelry is in there. And before she lost her memory, she told me she was going to give it all away to charity. All of it.
Ugh, you demon child.
With that, she shoved me into my room and locked it. That night, while I slept, someone touched my face. When I opened my eyes, a dark figure was standing over me.
Hello, Melanie. It's me.
Grandma, you remember my name? And how did you get in here?
Sit down, dear. I have something to tell you.
And you'd never believe what she told me. What do you mean? You faked your illness?
I did it to test you. I knew your mother would try to steal from me, and I wanted to see if you'd help her. I'm so glad you didn't. I'm so sorry she locked you in here.
I'm okay, Grandma. Actually, I have a revenge plan. Tie this around yourself. I handed Grandma a white bedsheet, and as I told her my plan, I used my makeup to paint her face and hands white as a ghost. To complete the look, I added some long stick-on nails to her fingers.
Are you sure this is going to work?
Trust me, Grandma. Mom is very afraid of ghosts. She even sleeps with the lights on. We both laughed as we headed to Mom's room in the mansion. Are you ready? As soon as she nodded, I kicked the door open, and Grandma walked into the room, just as Mom woke up screaming.
Get away from me!
My dear Alberta, I have a message for you. You need to leave this house, or evil shall befall you. Men will flee at the very sight of you, and all your designer clothes will shrink 3 sizes too small.
Oh no, not my Gucci dresses.
As Mom continued to scream, I rushed in. Mom, why are you screaming?
There's a ghost.
What? Where?
She's right there.
I was this close to bursting into laughter, but I had to stay in character. What are you talking about? Mom, there's nobody else here. Just you and me.
But she's... I need to get out of here.
And that, my dear viewers, is how Mom left the mansion barefoot and in a nightgown.
Did you see how fast she ran?
Yeah, with that speed, she's probably approaching Mars by now. We both burst out laughing as we high-five. A few days later, Nathan sat beside me at the fountain as I told him my crazy story.
I can't believe your grandma faked dementia.
I know, right? She's so crazy.
So, what happens now?
Well, Mom is still talking about ghosts, and she's still out of Grandma's will. So that means I'm going to inherit everything.
Please don't spend it all on clown costumes.
I giggled, but this time I wasn't embarrassed. I kept giggling until Nathan joined me.
Hi, I'm Alicia, and I'm about to tell you how I met the love of my life. But before we get into that, please like and subscribe. If there's one thing you have to know about me, it's that I wasn't an ordinary little girl. Being raised by a single father who was an ex-army officer does that to you. I had rules, discipline, and responsibility drilled into me since I was very young. And growing up, I found other kids my age really immature.
I don't know why he'd break up with me. I wore the clothes he liked, woke up at 5 every morning to do my hair because he liked them curly, and pretended to love watching wrestling.
Excuse me, but I need to get that muffin.
Can't you see that I'm crying? My boyfriend just broke up with me.
I'm so sorry. You know, it reminds me of the time my dad took me for this obstacle course, and I twisted my ankle so badly. The doctors told me I'd never be able to walk again, but I didn't lose hope. And here I am.
How is that the same thing?
It's not because that was an actual problem, but yours is just a bunch of high school nonsense. Now move your butt, please. Needless to say, I didn't have a lot of friends, and I didn't care either. My life was all sorted out. Graduate school, get into a good college, work and retire. But then I turned 18 and met Arthur. He was a transfer student from Greece, and boy, was he dreamy. The first time I met him was in gym class. We were playing basketball, and I was so lost in looking at him. I totally missed the ball and it hit me right in the face. I fell on my butt and Arthur came running.
Are you okay? You're bleeding.
It's nothing. I'm used to much worse. On second thoughts, I might need a doctor. Arthur smiled and carried me to the nurse's office. The entire time I was there, he sat next to me, and later, he dropped me home. We became friends after that, and slowly, I fell for him. He was smart, mature, and sweet. If there was one guy I wanted to date, it was him. So I decided to ask him out, except I didn't know how. So I turned to YouTube for help, and it did not disappoint. Rule number 1, never let your crush know you're interested in him. Avoid eye contact and do not speak at all. The next day, when Arthur waved at me in the hallway, I wrinkled my nose and turned away. He sat next to me in class, but I didn't pay any attention. But then in the cafeteria, he caught up with me.
Are you avoiding me?
Me avoiding you? Oh, don't be silly. I was just really busy thinking about global warming and how it's impacting the fish population. Oh, that reminds me. I have to water my fish. My plants. I'll see you around. And I just ran before I embarrassed myself further. After that epic failure, I turned to step number 2. Dress up nice and behave like a total diva. And the next morning, it took me 2 hours to get ready. I thought I looked great. Except the moment I entered, everyone started pointing at me and laughing.
Oh my god! Why is she dressed like a peacock?
What is that on her face? Did someone finally punch her for being a know-it-all?
I was so embarrassed, I immediately turned around and ran for the bleachers. I was still sulking when Arthur walked up to me.
If you rub your lips anymore, they're gonna fall off.
This lipstick won't come off. Ugh, it's so annoying.
Let me help you. Also, I'm not saying you don't look good with makeup, but you actually look way prettier without it.
Really? Does that mean you'll go out with me?
Are you serious? I wanted to ask you out for the longest time, but everyone in school told me you're a cold-hearted witch. Cold-hearted girl who hates people.
That's not true. I hate dumb people, there's a difference. So you and I dinner tomorrow?
I'd love to.
My first date with Arthur was perfect, and he told me that his parents were divorced like mine, and he lived with his mom and 9-year-old brother Charlie. We started dating soon after and spent all our time together. People in school were also nicer to me since I was Arthur's girlfriend, and even Dad liked him a lot. Life was just better with him in until things started getting weird. Some days he would come to school looking like a half-dead zombie, and other days he would skip school altogether. His grades were slipping. We were barely seeing each other, and I knew something was wrong. So one day, when he canceled our date, I went to his place with his favorite ice cream. But when I knocked on the door, some kid opened up. Hi, you must be Charlie. Is your brother around?
Is that ice cream? Gimme it.
Hey, that's not very nice. Say, ma'am, could I please have that tub of ice cream repeat after me?
Sure. Ahem. Ma'am, give me the ice cream or I'll kick you.
And Charlie kicked me on my shin, snatched the tub, and ran away. As I yelled out in pain, Arthur came running downstairs.
Alicia, why didn't you tell me you were coming?
When would I tell you? You hardly talk to me these days.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just that Mom's getting married again. The guy doesn't want Charlie in his life, and Mom loves her stupid boyfriend so much that she decided to move out, leaving me in charge.
Why wouldn't you tell me that before?
Because it's embarrassing and I didn't want to drag you in my mess.
I'm already a part of your mess and we'll get through it together. Okay, I know that was a bit cheesy, but Arthur looked like he was gonna break in a million pieces, and I really wanted to help him. Besides, how bad could a 9-year-old be? Turns out, a lot! Because Charlie was a total devil. He would cry over the smallest things, throw tantrums if he didn't get his way, and would constantly butt into my dates with Arthur. We hardly spent any time alone. I was pretty sure he just hated me. Like, one time, I was waiting for Arthur in his living room, and Charlie kept giving me death stares. Something on my face?
I was just trying to figure out how someone can look like a horse and a camel at the same time.
That's kind of mean, Charlie.
And you're kinda ugly. Anyway, have fun on the date. It won't last long.
And 10 minutes into the date, Arthur got a call from the babysitter that Charlie had locked himself in the washroom, and we had to run back. Then another time, it was Dad's birthday, and I had planned a really cool surprise for him. I'd invited all his old friends from the army. Arthur helped me deck up the place, and I was arranging the cake when Charlie walked up to me.
Oh wow, this cake looks yummy. Give me a piece.
Only after my dad cuts it.
But I'm hungry now.
Then eat something else. There's a whole pizza on the counter.
Are you stupid? I said I want the cake.
Charlie tried to get the cake, but I got in his way. He shoved me away, and I accidentally knocked into the cake, which crashed to the floor.
Whoopsie, guess no one gets to eat it.
What happened? I heard some noise.
Your brother ruined my surprise.
I just asked her to give me some cake.
And I asked you to wait.
Relax, Alicia. We'll get a new cake. I'm sure your dad won't know.
That's not the point, Arthur. Your brother is a spoiled brat. He needs some discipline. You put that kid on a leash or I swear I will.
He's my brother, not some dog I can put a leash on. I know he made a mistake, but he's just a kid, you know what? We'll just leave. We wouldn't want to ruin your evening any more than we have.
Perfect! Arthur took Charlie's hand, and they left. I wanted to stop them, but I was too mad. Later that night, when I calmed down, I realized I might have been too rude and called Arthur up, but he didn't answer. He didn't even show up to school the next day, and neither did Charlie. So I went to his place to talk to him and saw Charlie crying on the porch. What's wrong?
Arthur wasn't here when I woke up this morning, and I don't know where he went.
Did you call him?
He left his phone behind.
Then why didn't you answer when I called? Anyway, don't worry, we'll find him. But till then, you're coming home with me.
No, I don't like you.
You don't have to like me, but I'm not leaving you alone till Arthur gets back.
Ugh, so annoying.
We waited the whole day for Arthur to show up or get in touch, but he didn't. By nightfall, I decided to sleep in the lounge and offered Charlie my room. If you need anything. The next morning, Arthur was still a no-show. I couldn't reach his mom either, and then remembered he told me she was out of the country on her honeymoon. Next, I asked his friends and colleagues, but none of them knew where he was. Eventually, I contacted the police, but even a week later, they had no news of him, and I was worried sick. What could have possibly happened to him? Meanwhile, Charlie refused to go to school or shower. He mostly kept himself locked in my room and reacted rudely to any nice gesture I made. I was losing my mind. So I turned to Dad for help, and he promised he'd get a word out to his colleagues in the army to track Arthur down. I still don't know what to do with Charlie. He shuts me down every time I try to talk to him.
He's been through a lot, Alicia. What he needs is some distraction to keep his mind off things. After your mom left, you were all over the place. That's why I built such a strict routine for you, so you wouldn't have time to think about her. Maybe you should do something similar.
I decided to give Dad's advice a shot, and the next morning, I walked to Charlie's room and woke him up. Get up! We're going out!
Is Arthur back?
No!
Then let me sleep and go away.
Nope! You're getting up right now! Charlie resisted, but I dragged him out of bed, and somehow we made it to the bus stop. He kept cursing me the whole way, but I didn't care. And minutes later, we were at our destination, the paintball arena.
I'm not going in there.
Why? Too chicken to lose?
As if you're on.
Charlie and I had a great time at the paintball game, and it was the first time I actually heard him laugh. Afterwards, we went to a trampoline park and jumped our hearts out. By the end, he was so tired he could barely walk. So I called a cab and took him to my favorite burger joint. But he just stood at the entrance and stared. What? You don't like burgers?
No, it's just that this was my favorite place to come with my mom. Every weekend we come here and play our favorite songs at the jukebox machine. And now she doesn't even call me, and Arthur's left me too.
Arthur will be back in no time, I promise you. He loves you a lot, Charlie, and no matter what, we'll always be here for you.
You too?
Yes, me too! Charlie cried and hugged me tight. For the first time, I saw him as a heartbroken kid who just wanted his family back. Since then, Charlie warmed up to me. We'd have breakfast together, and he would always make my bed when I got home from school. He was a lot calmer and hardly threw a tantrum. I couldn't wait for Arthur to come back and see how much progress Charlie had made, but we still had no leads on him. I wanted to be strong, but with each passing day, my hopes of ever seeing him again were getting dimmer. And it broke my heart. Finally, one night, I broke down in front of Dad. I don't think Arthur is coming back, Dad. It's been weeks and no one knows where he is. If he was in town, we would have found him by now. And Charlie? He's lost his mom and might lose his brother too. What can I even say to him?
What?
I turned around and saw Charlie standing at the door.
You've been telling me all along the police will find him. You said you were sure.
No, I'm sure. He's fine. Charlie, I was just...
Stop lying. Why do all grown-ups lie so much? I hate you, all of you.
And Charlie just ran out of the house. Dad said he'd go after him. And as I was sitting in the kitchen, in despair, the phone suddenly rang. It was the police, saying they'd found Arthur in a hospital close to town. I rushed the location and texted Dad on the way. The doctors at the hospital told me that Arthur was brought in a few days back by the forest rangers. Apparently, he went on a hike and got injured. And since then, he'd been in a coma. I was sitting next to him when Charlie walked in with Dad.
How is he?
He hit his head, but he's out of danger. Doctors say there's a very good chance he'll be just fine. Charlie, promise me, no matter what happens, you and I will never fight again.
I promise I will never scream again, and I will always be a good brother. He will wake up, right?
What do you think?